All right, y'all, we in the building. Miss Karen, bring that beat back. Bring that beat back.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform.
Not that beat.
Number one.
Not that beat, Karen. You know the beat I'm talking about.
The Self Love Show, giving you more than vitamins and minerals. Food for your soul, information and plans integral to making your mind grow. With more growth and development, BS is irrelevant to the intelligent. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is what we represent. It's the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. We do it for our people. The Self Love Show, it's the Self Love Show, it's the Self Love Show. To expose and no equal. The Self Love Show, the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. 40 wordsmith, 9 meals. The Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. You know how the story goes. It's the Self Love Show.
That it is. It's the Self Love Show. The views expressed in today's pod are those of the host, the guests, and are not necessarily reflective of TATN or any affiliates. Welcome to the Self Love Show on This Ain't That Network, and as we affectionately say around here, TATN. This ain't that. Okay. All right, this is a spot where we dive extremely deep into the intersection of mind, body, spirit, and culture. This is one of the co-hosts, 9 Millie. First off, all praise to the ancestors, the Most High, and my late beloved Mama Sky. Today, we're going to explore how food connects health, spirituality, and science in ways that shape our communities. From the laboratory to the kitchen table, from Sunday sermons to cultural traditions, food is both a practical necessity and a sacred symbol. It is where nourishment meets identity and where science meets soul. Joining us is food scientist and minister Stacy. We got Stacy in the building, and for y'all who don't know, that's gonna be Stacy Blackburn in the building. All right, y'all. With a voice who bridges the lab and the pulpit with her unique perspective, he's gonna show us how what we eat shapes not only our bodies, but our families, our communities, and our spirit. Together, we're going to uncover how food can be a pathway to healing, empowerment, and deeper understanding. So, what about your self-love vision? Hold up here, y'all. So, what about your self-love vision and your 10 hats? This is the Self Love Show, and this is the revolution. And the revolution will not be on YouTube, however. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live in living color on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, at about 7:08 in the Windy City. And as always, you cats can be anywhere in this magnanimous universe, but thankfully, we all chose to be right here together. Here together. Okay, let's see here. Bear down, bear down, bear down. What down, brother Wordsmith? What you manifesting today?
Love, 9. You know me. I'm manifesting love. What you manifesting?
Ditto, good brother. Pure, magnificent, unfettered, unfiltered. Some have called it harsh. Others have labeled it tough. But I can assure you it's self-love just the same, good brother.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
What's been going on in your neck of America since we last popped out?
Mother Nature decided to drop a load on us.
Yeah, they say the worst snow in the last 5 years.
Not where I was at.
Well, that's what they predicted. Maybe it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it wasn't. No.
Thought it was mild the last few years.
Has been mild. And this is not 4 inches, I don't think is,
Nothing to write home about.
no, nothing to be, oh my God, it snowed so bad and
Well, you brought it up.
it closed down. Nah, I'm just
What are
saying
we
shit,
talking
4 inches is something, but
Yeah,
it ain't been the worst thing in the last 5 years.
I
At
got
least.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all be safe out there. Drive safely. Take your time. Watch where you walk. Check up on your seniors and make sure they good. Pathways shoveled out. No ice they can slip on. All that good stuff, Help out your brethren and your sister.
No doubt.
All right, what to expect today? We always kick it off with the Self Love Show quote of the day. And then we have our more growth and development video. That's a platform. That's what we stand upon right here. It's less than 1 minute, we promise. And then we got Tattoo Tyranny. May not be related, but we're going to unpack one video today. We're going to react to it. And we want some feedback from you guys and ladies out there in the chat. This is interactive, as Brother Wordsmith has typed in the chat so eloquently. So feedback, feedback, feedback. And then your mind is a terrible thing to waste. We've taken the time to place a riddle, aka dome teaser, in the chat. It's been pinned in the chat. Type in what you think the answer is. If Brother Wordsmith solves it, he'll give you the answer at the end of the show. If he doesn't solve it, I'll give you the key, most Ricky Tick. We'll let you know if you're right or wrong or indifferent. Today's topic, food, faith, and science, with food scientist / minister Stacy Blackburn in the building. Y'all do us a favor, hit that like button and then share and repost. We appreciate that. We got to get this message out here. This is going to be great for culture. But as always, oh, wait a minute. Something's always going wrong. Oh, and then we end it with my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. And that's where Brother Wordsmith's going to summarize today's show, everything we unpack, and a bit of prose right off the rip, right off the top of the dome. He's going to bring it in there from the ether through his mind filter, and then he's going to regurgitate it out in a way that we can understand. It's always a joy. Do stick around for that, ladies and gents. All right. But first, any announcements out there?
December 9th, we have an ugly sweater, canned food drive at Club Lavu in Chicago Heights.
Oh, yeah. Is that on Halsted?
Yes.
Club Lavu, y'all.
707 South Halsted in Chicago Heights.
Copper owned and operated too, ain't it?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Would have it no other way.
That's right. Go out there and recycle your bread. Do something good. This time of year, there's for the less fortunate, those who just may be down on their luck right now. I would say bring more than one can. Challenge yourself. It's on the 9th. My name is 9. Bring a minimum of 9 cans out there. 9 cans. And put on a nice ugly sweater. You have an ugly sweater contest? Which ugliest sweater is the dopest or the ugliest or anything like that?
Something like that is happening, but I'm not privy right now.
Not privy, huh? We don't know what your proclivities are. All right. The only announcement I got: stay safe. Eat to live. That's along the lines of what today's joint is going to be about. Read the labels if necessary. If you're reading too many chemicals, well, we'll get into that. Stop the violence. All right. As always, stop the violence. Like, share, subscribe, and make sure you're getting your checkups out there, your physical and your mental checkups. All right, and if there's anybody out there in the chat, maybe you got some food scientists in there, some chefs, some nutritionists. Send this link to your boy that popped out on the show, him and his wife. But yeah, if you got any of that kind of skill, if not, type it in the chat. Maybe let us know where you're watching from. We appreciate that. Big ups to Midwest Festivals, one of our sponsors. Um, they're going to be doing their 4th annual Ancestral Echoes. They're actually sponsoring the canned food event, the Ugly Sweaty event. So big ups to Midwest Festivals, Ancestral Echoes. It's a glamping house music extravaganza. Some of the best DJs from the Midwest and throughout these United States pop out for a weekend of overnight fun. They can drop ship, have your camper drop shipped. They've got tents available. You just have to make your bid, or you can bring your own stuff if you're a more experienced camper and you got your own stuff. Pull up, bring your shenanigans. There'll be water, there'll be, clean porta potties, but bring your shenanigans. All right. Also, Tay Mills Aesthetics. If you find yourself in sunny Southern California, you want to get away from that death-defying 4 inches that sprinkle that you guys are getting right now, and you want to come to the coast. And you need a multicultural skin, body, and weight loss pro. Reach out to Tay Mills Aesthetics at www.taymillsaesthetics.com. Big Hank, what's up, my brother? We just dropped, pin that link into the chat, www.taymillsaesthetics.com. Yeah, I popped in your live, Hank. We do this one every Tuesday, bro. So I couldn't hang around, man. But man, I don't know how often when your regular times are. Let me know, bro. All right. And then we got Bella B. Bella B. If you're looking for some swag on a t-shirt, sweatpants, sweatshirt, anything of that nature, reach out to Bella B at designs365@gmail.com. All of these are copper colored, owned, operated joints. Last but not least, you find yourself in Chicago. Maybe you spun out in a hole. You had a pothole that was covered with the snow sprinkles. You didn't know it was there. Boom. Tore up your whole frame. You know what I mean? And you need a tow. Pookie and Ray Ray over there looking. They clutching. Maybe they're pump faking. Maybe they're not. You know? You got your high-end truck. You got your jewelry on. You don't want to tuck it because you're tough. You know? Uh, Maybe you got a stick. Maybe you don't have a stick. They don't know. The Venezuelans could be up the block. You don't know who they are, where they came from. Reach out to Jim Recovery. Jim Recovery will pull up in a brand new flatbed truck, top of the line. He's got over 2 decades experience. He'll have you up on have your whip up on the flatbed and have you in a nice warm truck before Pookie and Ray Ray could say, "Stick 'em up." Okay. All right. That's enough of the sponsors. Big ups to y'all. And enough of my yapping. I'll turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business.
Welcome to the Self Love Show. We have a great show for you, as Nine has put it up there. Food, faith, and science. Nourishing Black America, so-called Black America, copper-colored Black America, with scientist, Minister Stacey Blackburn. As always, we have a very important video for you to check out, the Silverback Moore Growth and Development Platform, which we're building the Self Love Nation off of. But before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. Food is more than fuel. It's medicine, memory, and ministry. In Black America, it carries the weight of science, the spirit of survival, and the promise of healing. The Borg, Chat GPT.
Yeah, it's basically the Borg, huh?
Yeah, well, kind of, for sure.
Yeah, robot, computer. Wasn't that Star Trek? He talked computer. Tell me the data on this. And he had a cyborg next to him.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was a show way ahead of its time, that's for sure.
Yeah, they knew about some hidden tech, didn't they?
Or behind.
Yeah, or behind. Yeah. Big ups to Karen.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. Number 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen. Number 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
Hey, ditto to that. Couldn't have said it better, man. Protect yourself, protect your fam. It starts with you. If you missed last week's The Self Love Show, we broke down how the DMT laser experiment, laser experiment works and its effect on simulation theory.
Ooh-wee. Packed full of pertinent information. I suggest you go check it out. Check it out.
That's right. And we didn't wrap it up with Wordsmith's final words. We wrapped it up with Cartman's final words out there. So stick around to the end. We got something special lined up for you guys. Unprecedented.
Oh, totally.
All right. So y'all, we got a warm up poll question. Karen's gonna drop this in the link. Big ups to Karen. Um, do you bless your food prior to consuming? Simple. Okay. Do you bless your food prior to consuming? We didn't have a unsure. We're not gonna let you rub your bum on the fence on this one, because it's not appropriate, right? It's a simple question. Do you bless your food prior to consuming? Your first option is yes, all the time. The second option is most of the time. Your third option is sometimes. And your fourth option is going to be never out there. All right. One thing we won't do is judge you, because only God can judge you. Only God. Only God can judge you now. Only God can judge you. Only God. Only God can judge me now. All right. And Karen has just dropped that link in. Oh, wait a minute. Karen, what the hell? All right. She's just dropped that link in the chat for everyone. All right. Big ups to all the sponsors once again. Today's topic is food, faith, and science with food scientist slash minister Stacy Blackburn. We had the privilege of having this young lady pop out a couple years ago, dropped jewel after jewel after jewel, to the point where I'm surprised I didn't get taken out by big corporate, which maybe we'll double back on that. All right. But that's coming up, y'all. It's coming up very shortly. She's waiting patiently in the cream room. Brother Wordsmith, did you see the Diddler?
Nothing. Something else came up. All right, let's see.
Yeah, they on his ass with baby oil.
Oh my God.
Fair use, y'all. The Diddler, everybody.
The Diddler.
Welcome back to ABC News Live reports. Sean Diddy Combs is facing new sexual assault allegations. The LA Sheriff's Department says that it's investigating a report from an alleged victim in Florida. That alleged victim has identified himself as music producer Jonathan Hay in social media posts that have since been removed. A spokesperson for Combs has not responded to ABC News' request for comment. Combs is currently serving a federal prison sentence after he was convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution earlier this year.
Fluing them out.
Legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer for more on this. So, Brian, this accuser says he's already listed as John Doe in a civil case against Combs. So talk about how that could impact this investigation now that he's also
John wants the dough.
identified himself, too.
Yeah, so the only impact that I can see on this investigation will now be that law enforcement will know who to speak with. But he already reached out to law enforcement in Florida that's been working in conjunction with LA where the alleged crime has occurred. And so the impact of him making notice that he also has a civil case doesn't really affect one or the other. If anything, it affects the potential civil case, because with a typical civil case, you just have a lawyers doing the investigation. Now you have the full force and power of the LAPD doing part of the investigation, and their criminal investigation could help create more information that he could go forward in a civil case.
So CJ Wallace, the son of rapper Notorious B.I.G., filed a countersuit against Hay. Hay claims that Wallace and Combs took part in an alleged assault in 2021. Wallace calls Hay's allegations a, quote, calculated smear campaign. Talk to us how that kind of factors into
Did
this
they say
case.
Biggie's son was taking the bomb?
Yeah, so here you have a cross-complaint from a civil matter where you have an original
B.I.G.
case where Hay is saying that not only Sean Combs, but CJ Wallace, the son of the Notorious B.I.G., was a part of these sexual allegations. In terms of them going back and forth, you'll
So they
see
don't have his picture?
a sense of filing for damages for
I
either
bet they
claim.
do.
You'll go through the typical process of sitting down for depositions, accounting for discovery
the
that may
bigger
come
fish.
about. But because Sean Combs has been tried for a federal crime, is currently now in Fort Dix, New Jersey, serving a 50-month sentence. This
I bet he is
civil
in Fort
trial,
Dix.
many others have been on pause, and so these countersuits and original suit may just sit in limbo for some time.
Right. So, okay, just talk to us a little bit about that 101 on the basics of these cases. Combs is facing multiple civil cases. How's the burden of proof different in a criminal trial compared to a civil trial?
Yeah, so for criminal trial, you've probably heard it on a lot of like TV shows. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt, amount of information that a regular, ordinary person with the duty of being on a jury would consider to be appropriate or important to determining whether or not a person had done something where there is no reasonable doubt to disagree with it. With a civil case, it's a much lower standard of a preponderance of the evidence, or in more layman's terms, more likely than not, the measurement we as attorneys typically use for that is 51%. And so for a civil case, you're just saying, hey, is there a 51% chance that Sean Combs allegedly committed these acts? If so, he would be liable. In the federal case, which was criminal, that was proof beyond a reasonable doubt, where he is found guilty of those two counts you mentioned earlier, and is serving a 50-month sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Brian Buckmeyer, our expert on all things legal and all things Diddy as well. Appreciate you, Brian, as always.
My pleasure.
He's the Diddy specialist. All right, so I don't know. Is this a witch hunt at this point? Is this just a money grab? What do y'all think? Are they butthurt? This is looking a lot like OJ. There's CJ Wallace, the Notorious B.I.G. son.
Witch hunt.
CJ Wallace. Yeah, I mean, you got this grown man coming out saying that, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know. He's putting his name out there. He's saying it's him. That doesn't mean it happened, but
He put his name out there?
They said producer Jonathan Hill said it was him. And then they said the case was anonymous, but after he then came out and said it was him, you know what I mean? He had put a tweet or something on social media and then took it down.
Why didn't he go to the police immediately?
I don't know. I mean, shit.
He was scared.
Blaming the victim. Shit. I don't know.
Blaming the victim. Who is the victim? It's possible
No,
Diddy's
I'm
the
not
victim.
not sure.
You know, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I can't believe that a grown man can be in the studio with a grown man and then be so afraid that he doesn't go straight to the police or whack these people. God forgive me, whack them the first chance he gets, or go to the police second chance he gets, but then waits around years, waits around, and
After
then
a
comes out
trial.
later. They better not have me on the jury.
After
That's
a
for sure.
trial.
Huh?
After a trial already.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. That don't mean the shit didn't happen, and it don't mean that it happened either. I mean, you can investigate anything a motherfucker says for the most part.
Yeah, it's a civil matter.
Oh no, they said it's a criminal matter now.
It's BS. If he's talking to the state of Florida about it and it allegedly happened in California, it's BS. It's
He was
not a
talking.
federal
He was
crime unless he
talking
was
to.
flew out.
He was talking to Florida, and it said the lawyer dude said that in conjunction with California.
Correct. Why is he talking to Florida? It happened in California.
He's in
Witch hunt.
Florida. I mean, unless he could have went to Florida. I mean, California or whatever it is.
It's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. If a crime happens here in California,
It
why are
could
you
be.
talking to the prosecutor and the lawyer and these people in a whole nother damn state? I don't know.
Yeah, you can't ask me that question because I don't have the answer. I didn't do it, any of it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it, but I often don't understand when people are sexually assaulted and don't say anything and wait decades later to say something.
I mean, he's gonna say Diddy's a gangster, allegedly.
Yeah, I mean
and
the
he's
whole
intimidated.
trial. I mean the whole trial that he got cleared of. It's like he's trying to bring that all back. Like
Right. So right. Double jeopardy like they did Kales. So if he is a gangster, okay, here's what I'm saying. If this was, God forbid, Larry Hoover, Jeff Fort, Al Capone, what? Do I really think I'm so naive to think, oh well, he's in jail on a 60-month trial, 60-month bid. I can come on out and be safe and come on out with these allegations and these guys can't get to me and my family? Are
well,
these people that stupid?
he's been locked up for 2 years. I mean, so this I don't.
So his whole criminal enterprise
It
is
doesn't make sense.
all right. And maybe it makes sense to the chat. We want to hear from the chat. Does it
Yeah.
make sense? Somebody make it make sense for me, because I don't want to be pointing finger at me saying I'm victim blaming. There has to be a victim to be victim blaming. There's an assumption there when you call someone a victim blamer, is that there's a victim.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a serious assumption when you say it's witch hunt as well.
Well, last time I checked, he beat the first case. Last time I checked, that man's in, and I said it. I said it when the witch hunt started. He's gonna beat the case. I was one of the only ones saying it when the whole internet went wacky. And I'll say it. I say it all the time. Whether you're white, pink, blue, or you're an alien, you're innocent in the United States of America until somebody proves you guilty. Damn, with some producer comes out and says after the fact, and then he's got the nerve to throw in the late great Biggie Smalls' son, C.J. Wallace, who I'd never heard of before this, and said he was part of it too. These people are having consensual relations, and they're butthurt, lack of a lack of a better term, pardon the pun, and they're butthurt, and then they want some money. So they want some John Doe. This is my opinion. You know what I mean? It's a witch hunt, and the lawyers are leading it. Find some pink people to go out there and pursue. All right. Food, faith, and science with food scientist, minister Stacy Blackburn in the building. That's all we got because we got our guests. So we do have the dome teaser. I am grown from earth, yet shaped by hand. A healer, a burden, a cultural brand. I feed the body, I stir the soul. In science, I'm measured. In spirit, I'm whole. What am I? You guys, that's pinned in the chat. All you got to do is click on it up there, what have you. And you can see that dome teaser. Brother Wordsmith has not solved it yet, which is surprising. He normally is on it by now. We'll give you the key at the end. Stick around, but enough of the appetizers out there, fella.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right, bet them up. Karen, we got a quick promo video, and then we're going to get our honored guest in the building. Is she still around?
Yes.
Okay. I'll close the link, so you're going to have to let her in. DMT laser experiment. All right. Next week, 12/2, December 2nd, 25. We do have a guest.
Me and Tori we could talk about some of our experiences with people that we actually worked with through Sweet Potato Patch. And the crazy thing was the goal of Sweet Potato Patch was to help people and to help heal people in their body, through food, right? And we had people we had people following Tori to the gas station and filming him
That was
in
Monsanto.
order to destroy my business. Right? We had people that were just constantly monitoring people on video cameras, and it was just crazy. And you would think with a small business like that,
Doing good.
yeah,
Right.
but what I believe in that time period God was allowing me to see prior to going into ministry is what a demon actually looks like.
Scientist. Stacy is coming in the building. Stacy Miner. We had the privilege and the pleasure of having this young lady sit with us about 3 years ago, but unfortunately that show was deleted. So we do want to get this data out here. She dropped some jewels. All right, y'all. Before we get our honored guests in here, we just like to remind everyone why the Self Love Show exists. The purpose of this show is to honor and recognize the fallen warriors and our ancestors, such as up to and including George Floyd. Rest up. We're copper first, so we don't hate anyone that doesn't hate us. So we're copper first, though. Unapologetically copper first. We start at the bottom, now we're here. More growth and development. We played the platform video. That's what we stand upon. We're here to chronicle our story as opposed to his story being tickling our tonsils. Okay, so we want our story out there as opposed to allowing his story to tickle our tonsils. Okay, and then we do it for the progeny, who could be us. We come back in a perpetual loop. Reincarnation is another story, but we do it for those who come behind us. You know, how magnanimous is it that this data is out there, and our grandchildren or grandnephews and people 3, 4, 5 generations down the line will have access to it. No different than when you go back and you look at a video of, one of the last remaining so-called slaves or prisoners of war, or you look at, one of the surviving people from World War II, and you're getting their whole view from their point of view. Okay, so that's why we do it. Brother Wordsmith, do your thing.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Unmute yourself.
What's up? What's up, Stace?
Hi.
Hey,
Good
hey,
evening.
hey.
How are
Welcome.
you?
Welcome again to the Self Love Show.
Oh, thank you for having me again. Can you see me? I'm like, I never put my camera right.
Yeah, you're pretty good. It's a little dark, but it's fine.
Yeah, we got you. Welcome back, Mrs. Carter. Welcome back to
Yeah.
the same
I
old
was like,
place
this
that we
what?
laughed about. All right. So you know why we do the show, and you've been here before. Like the first 5 questions might be a little repetitive for you, but we want to get this data out here because I believe Monsanto or somebody might have erased that last one. So,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
it was erased, really?
yeah. The very first one you did was magically deleted.
Mm.
Yep. All right. So we're going to start with your early life. Identify your hometown and describe what it was like growing up there.
I am from Chicago, from the South Side. Um, what it was like growing up in Chicago. I grew up in Chicago in the 70s. For me, I felt like it was loving and community. We had block clubs, you know, we walked home from school together. Yeah, it was it Chicago in the 70s was cool. Then, evolving into what it is now, it's and I think it's kind of the same all over the place. Um, Social media, more technology keeps us disconnected. And um, before I left Chicago, there was just a lot of disconnection and individualism, and COVID kind of helped with that. But I would say Chicago growing up in the 70s, warm, block clubs, neighbors looked out for you. You know, I used to go and eat at all of my neighbors' house. My mom always talked about that. She said, "You went to have dinner at all of our neighbors' house. Like, were you really that hungry?" I did. I would jump from house to house and had dinner. I don't know if it was because I was just hungry, but I like the community and the sense of family that
Yeah.
we all shared, and we still kind of share that through social media. Shout out to 110th and Parnell. That's where I grew up. And we're still tight and we're still family. I think a lot of young people don't know what that feels like anymore.
Man, you was
It's a
right
little
off
sacrifice.
111th.
Huh?
You're right off 111th. 100.
We were like the second Black family to move on our block.
Wow. I think Tori was like that too over there where he grew up in
I
South
know,
Shore.
right?
First.
Yeah, it's fancy over there.
Yeah, Tori, you're right. By the way, with your guess for the thing. So you were one of those. Yeah, I remember. We used to have kids coming over. I remember one time, Shorty came, banged on our door. Boom, 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 boom. We was having a barbecue. My mama said, "Give us some meat."
No, I didn't do that.
That
My
was the
mama
My
said,
wrong
mom
"Give
way.
us
would
some meat." It's like, well,
actually,
tell your mama to come down here.
yeah, my mom would have had me for dinner if I did that. But I think it was more community,
Yeah,
more
Definitely.
together, more social, more neighborly, more love. Definitely.
yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna deny that.
Dang, y'all got me freaked out. I'm like, somebody erased that video.
They sure did.
Oh,
Yep.
maybe I need to shut up.
Yeah, you all right. Your ancestors, between your ancestors and the angels and God, you're good to go. Uh,
My ancestors told me that they watching me, so
there you go.
I'm aware.
Any interactions with any non-melanated folks on 110th and Parnell back in the 70s? If so, describe the nature of those relationships and interactions.
You just made that one up because I just told you about the
Well, I just
That was
added, I
okay.
just plugged in the location, but the question was there.
Hold on, I need to rename myself on here. I use this for business. Twisted. Hold on. Think. All right, there we go. Name changed. All right, what was the question again?
Any interaction with non-melanated folks over in your community? If so, describe the nature of that relationship and those interactions back in the 70s.
I don't remember. I have to be honest. I don't. I was actually born there, so I don't remember. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, hold on. See, the memory just blinks, just blink back on. That's that green juice that. So there were these two old white ladies that lived on our block, and they were so weird. They never talked to anybody. We used to call them the witches. I don't know why we thought they were like witches, like with pointy hats.
Yeah,
The kids on the block, we did. We thought she was.
How they acted. That's probably why.
They
I
could have
mean,
They
been.
were weird, and I swear
that
I thought I saw them burying something in their front yard, and we used to
Yeah,
always like run past their house or ride our bikes past their
yeah.
house because they were just
uh,
weird. It was like two old white ladies. I don't know what their names were, but
you probably couldn't
yeah,
afford to move.
basically. See, I
Yeah,
almost
and then
said
some of them
something. I
just
was
don't
like,
move like that dude on the next block from your house, Tori.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's
well, some
about, but
people
yeah,
can.
he
I
just
mean,
until he died,
look
his
at
juice
Dalton. Look
stood.
at Dalton and Thornton Township. You still have a nice sprinkle, maybe three or four white families that still live in those suburbs
mm-hmm,
out there.
mm-hmm.
Probably hate it. Like, please, God, let me hit the lottery so I can get away.
Can you provide the self-love nation with any sayings, meaning, colloquialisms that you may live by? Maybe you heard it as a child growing up, or, from those ancestors you talked about, or elders or mentors.
I think what just popped into my head is greater is he that lives within me than he that is within the world. So everything I have to give is the world or the earth is already within me. Kind of live by that. My little candle was getting flickery. Sorry.
Yeah, those are good words to live by, y'all. Those are very good words to live by.
Yeah.
What or who do you credit most for helping you to rise above any perceived pressures and challenges? We've sat with many females at this point, and I've never looked at the child, even though I got a big sister, but she's my big sister, she's the oldest. I never looked at the different sets of challenges y'all had coming up in Chicago. But who do you credit most for helping you to rise above those challenges and pressures in your community as a child?
I can say two people because they kind of both were equal, but existed in helping me through those challenges at different times. My grandmother, Juanita Strickland, and my dad, Russell Blackburn.
Mm,
One of the things that my dad, and this was something that he always said, and it was one of those mantras to always live by, because I would feel so pressured to go, 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 go. And um, a lot of it was because I know my mother and father wanted me to succeed in life. Um, but he would always kind of pull back the reins a little bit. And he would say, hey, Rome wasn't built in a day.
mm-hmm.
You don't have to do everything right now. And I used to, and I still at sometimes feel like I have to get everything done right now. And I don't know, I don't want to spin this conversation off into something else, but I was in a car accident in 1989 before I went off to college.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a near death experience where I literally did have an out of body experience. And so I don't know if psychologically that makes me kind of veer to that do everything now, because tomorrow's not promised somewhere in my subconscious. Because consciously, I don't think that way. Most times I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything. right?
Wait a
But
minute. Wait.
people will
You
tell you, huh?
that's right up our alley.
What, like,
So
see, we're
spend.
supposed to be talking about food, faith, food, faith, and science.
I mean, but
But
that's
that might be a
all
new
right. But you're just
story.
throwing
I,
that
I
out there.
never told anybody that.
I just wanted to know who was driving.
My friend, his name was David Allen. He was killed in the car accident.
Oh, rest his
Um,
soul.
and I don't like to call it an accident. I feel like everything happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, um, he was driving. We were hit by a drunk driver at 111th and Halsted, right by the White Castle in
No, exactly.
1989.
Yeah. Yeah. T-bone.
Yeah, I don't remember at all. I have no recollection to this day of what actually happened. Um, I woke up in the hospital not knowing what happened to me.
Do you have any
I was,
memory of your near-death experience?
I absolutely do. I food, faith, and science. But okay.
Yeah, no, this is
So
right up our alley.
These conversations are organic. They
Yeah.
grow how they grow.
You know, that happened to
I
Brother
see, I
Wordsmith too, so
see,
we're very intrigued.
I see, I see. But I mean, this kind of falls into my vocation. I mean, as a science, so I'm in school to go for my doctorate of neurogenetics, right? Because from the time that happened, I always wondered, like, was that a real thing? But you hear it and you hear the people telling their stories, and it's the same exact story. Like, so what I remembered is I knew that my parents told me they didn't know if I would live. That's what they were told by doctors in 3D, right? But I was somewhere and it was as if I was looking down into like a surgical room that was all white, and all I could see was my face. I couldn't see any bruises. I didn't see any things attached to me. And I was like looking down at myself, and my grandmother and my grandfather just kind of popped up on both sides of me, and they were deceased. Yeah, they were deceased. I don't know that I remember them being deceased at the time. Um, I don't know if I remember, like, I just know that they were there. And on my left side, my grandfather was standing. He was dressed like he was about to go play golf, and my grandmother was on, like, I remember it clearly. He had on a yellow sweater with like some plaid pants. Like he was about to like this kind of took him off his golf
Like
game.
he was headed over to
And
Joe Louis over there on 67th Street.
yeah, and my grandmother was on my right side, and she had on this really pretty like burnt orange dress with this necklace. It looked kind of like shark's teeth,
Mm.
right? Kind of old school 80s, 90s look.
Hmm.
And she just cried. She did not say one word. And I asked my grandfather, I said, Grandpapa, am I gonna die? And he said, We're not ready for you yet.
Mm.
And that's all I remember. I remember that it was peaceful. Even though my grandmother was crying, I didn't feel
Sadness.
sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so, like, some time later, I told my sister about it. Like, I was out of the hospital and I told my sister about it. And she said, Oh my God. I just did my sister's voice. Oh my God. Like, she was like, Okay, now that makes sense. And I said, What do you mean? And she told me that there was one time when I was in the hospital, they were bringing me back into my room, and I was like crying hysterically. She doesn't even remember telling me this to date, right? But she said I was crying hysterically when they brought me back into the room, and she asked what was wrong. Did somebody hurt me during the x-rays? So they were doing x-rays or something. I was banged up. Like I shouldn't be here today, right? I should be here today, but I shouldn't. Like literally came back from death.
Logically,
Um,
doesn't make sense.
she
Like me.
she so she said it makes sense because when I asked you what was wrong, she said you told me that you wanted to go back with Granny and Grandpapa. And I don't even remember that.
Wow.
I just remember that one time being with them. But as I'm older now and I can recall this stuff, I think about the fact that she told me I was crying hysterically. Like wherever I must have been, I didn't want to come back here because I was like, no, I want to go back with Granny and Grandpa. And it freaked her out because she's thinking to herself, like, I know this car accident hit my sister in the head, but our grandparents are dead. That's where my
Wow.
sister was coming from. Like, our grandparents are dead. What you mean she want to go back with them? Yep.
Is this your older sister or younger sister?
Older.
Wow. So you would have been like a
Yeah.
senior in high school.
Yep.
Wow. Those stories
Yep.
always amaze me. I just sent you that channel,
What's up, Paul?
Anthony Cheney. You got to check it out.
I'm looking at y'all chat on my TV. I'm like, what's up? That's Paul Proper 37. Shout out to Paul Smith.
Okay, Proper. Great talks beyond what you hear. Thanks.
Yeah.
Big
Thanks.
ups. If y'all have any questions.
Tori, I don't know if you even knew that. Did I ever tell you
No,
that?
I've never heard this. This is the first time I've ever heard it.
Oh, well, because
And
when
it
you tell
sounds
people
so
this kind of stuff,
it
it's
sounds so
like,
similar to me that it's ridiculous. Except for
really?
I had to come back. I could not stay there. I could not stay there. That's the only
Okay,
difference.
so this is the first time I'm hearing that from you, and we like all of us have
So
known each other
you didn't
over
know
30
Tori
years.
had
What?
the experience?
No.
Wow.
When I got hit and run over?
Oh my God, right. I came to visit you in the hospital.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know it was that serious. You were like, I don't mean to do that. You know how you had your
Yeah.
arm in a cast and all. You were jacked up. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. But you were jacked up and it never dawned on me. But I do understand there's a point in life where God's spirit, whatever you want to call God, leads you to a point where you become awakened and you start connecting the dots. And I couldn't connect the dots then. I didn't go, you gotta tell me about this. Share.
Yeah, well, when I got hit and run over, my son was the same age I was when my father passed.
Oh wow.
So it was a cyclical thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, I could not stay where I was at. I had to come back.
Yeah.
I could not let that be. And yeah, so I
Do you
was
remember like being somewhere else?
no, because I'm an empath, so it's all feeling. So it
Okay.
was a feeling, and it was dark. It was darkness, but I knew it was
Okay.
a presence. It was a presence, and
Yeah.
I knew the presence was there, and I'm like, this can't happen. Like, it can't happen. You know,
Right. It's like, thank you for your presence, but
this can't happen.
I love your presence. The
Yep.
presence of the Lord is here. No, but it's like, I no,
I,
sorry, Lord,
I
I
will.
gotta get back to my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Period. Period. Period.
Understood. And
Um,
I know for me, I don't even remember. I don't know what I was feeling like. Well, all I can say is I don't know what I was feeling, but the evidence from my sister saying to me that I was crying hysterically, like, oh my God, I did not want to come back here.
Yeah, most people don't.
wherever I was, and I've seen videos about near-death experience and stuff like that, where people were like, "Oh, it's so nice and it was flowery and blah blah blah," and I don't remember any of that,
Yeah, I didn't have
but
any of that.
me either. It was dark and I was looking in a really bright room. And then I came back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think
Wow, tour. That's
everybody's
where it was.
experience is personal to them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, I was watching there. Oprah did a podcast on it not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, all of these stories like sound exactly like mine, but the experience, like I don't remember waterfalls and stuff like that. And maybe for a reason. And
I think
getting back
sometimes
to
it's kind of what happened to the people, how their experience
right.
is like. Um,
Yeah.
it's unexpected accidents. A lot of people ain't talking about no flowery, nothing like that or
Right.
whatever.
And then
Um,
I was watching when I was watching Oprah's podcast, there was like a guy that talked about how terrible he was to his wife. And when he got in that presence, he had to feel
yeah,
everything that he made other people feel. I was like, dang, that must feel like hell.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you haven't repented for those things or you haven't reconciled and come to peace with how you've been. And for me, I have to tell you that's hard because I don't like treating people badly. You know what I mean? So I don't when there are people out there that treat people badly and have to go before the presence of the creator of all heaven and earth and be asked, okay, so what's up with you? And you got to go back and feel how you made other people feel and you were crappy and
yeah.
skanky to them.
That's their
Well,
karma. Also, it grows their
That's
consciousness.
you
yeah.
it grows the consciousness, but you're feeling the good and the bad.
Hmm.
And what a lot of them say is that even the ways you made people feel when you weren't purposely doing it, when you weren't
Yeah.
aware of it,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? You
Yes.
know, it could be
Yeah.
as you were walking on campus and somebody spoke to you and you didn't hear them, or you were having a really bad day and you didn't respond. You're going to feel that.
Dang, Mills, did I make you feel that way? No, I'm just messing with you. Like, why
I would
you
have had
bringing
my
that up
headphones
now?
on. I wouldn't have heard nothing. I had my headphones on walking around the yard
No, but that's
24/7.
so true. And it makes you really like you don't want people to feel bad.
Correct.
Like, and some people think that I can be like 10 times extra in like some people will say, well, you didn't have to say that, or you don't have to explain yourself. And sometimes I feel like I do because it's like, okay, I want to let you know that if I showed up this way, I didn't mean to make you feel, you know what I mean? I
Right.
say that kind of stuff. And people are like, you didn't have to say that, but I appreciate it. But I'm like, yeah, I did, because I don't want you to go around feeling bad.
Yeah, because you
And
never
it's just
know
that
who you.
simple.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Because it's a domino effect. So you make that person feel bad, and then they go out and make somebody else feel bad, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But it works the other way too. You make
And
somebody's
shoot,
day, right? You know, you might think it's
yeah.
insignificant. Random bum, not a bum, but a homeless person asks you for money. You give him $5. You don't, you know, he probably went and bought some alcohol and went and got his friend, and they had something to eat and they felt good. You know what I mean? And then they kept paying it forward. Like, you just never know.
You know, and that's why when we approach life, and it kind of goes in with what this show is about. I'm taking a class right now. It's called Jesus, the Church, and Violence. And I remember when they told me that I had to take this class for my Master of Divinity. Um, my pastor laughed. He was like, Jesus, the Church, and Violence. I'm like, but it has taught me a lot, right? It's like I I feel like we are so violent towards others, towards ourselves. and we don't even realize we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm abusing my body with alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
I'm being violent to myself. Or when I'm
Mm-hmm.
not showing myself the option to rest as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to make money,
Mm-hmm.
I'm being violent to, prostituting myself and being violent to myself,
Mm-hmm.
and we do that to others, and we just have to be more, we have to be conscious of the way we treat others. But I feel like our world is just so crazy, that we don't even, we're not even self-aware or thinking about our violent actions towards ourselves, towards others, towards the earth. I,
Earth, animals, flowers,
Animals, yes.
everything.
I had a moment today. I was telling one of my friends, I had a moment today. I killed a gnat because I had some peonies in my house, and
Yeah.
this gnat kept flying around. I'm like, hopefully it just dies on its own,
I'm
right? And
like
it just
you. I
kept.
stopped killing them, but they get so annoying. I'll be like, man, I gotta get
I
this one.
felt bad. I'm like, I killed this poor
I
little.
said that to somebody the other day. They were like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm like, man, it could have been an ancestor. They're like, it's
Like,
just a gnat.
I,
I'm like, well,
it's a
you know
sick
what I mean?
creature, this creation of God. I'm like, or the fact that it was so annoying, maybe it was the devil. Who knows? It could have been a
Correct.
demonic spirit. But
Maybe it was meant to happen.
or maybe it was meant
It
to
did
annoy me.
happen, so
But
it was meant to happen. It happened.
exactly, maybe it was annoying me to raise my consciousness about something about me,
But you
you
got to be able to
know.
forgive yourself.
But I have to be able to forgive myself. But I have to really, one of the things, the biggest things that I've learned over the last couple of years, especially being in school, learning about the mind, and also, on my spiritual journey in ministry, is like loving your neighbor and and understand that our neighbors, the earth, are the animals, even the
Yeah.
disgusting squirrels that ate up all my flowers. But I'm gonna let that slide. I'm like, y'all was hungry. You can have them. They were just mean. They ate up the roots of the flowers. I'm like, eat the flowers. But anyway, they annoyed me, and I at one point sprayed them with ammonia, and I hope they don't erase your show for me saying that, because they were just so annoying. But then I had to come to terms with, like, I'm sharing space with these squirrels,
They're
Yeah.
outside.
just like
They were what they
sharing
do.
space with my brothers and sisters that walk the planet Earth. And the more we exploit each other and the earth, I mean, who knows what will happen to the world? Our charge is to replenish the earth, but all we've done is exploit it, use it for our own personal gain and needs until its resources are halfway gone in some places. But shoot, when you
We're extensions of the earth. We're part of the earth.
yeah, yeah,
So all that, to your point, we're harming ourselves. We're bullying ourselves. We're
yeah,
anything we do to planet Earth, we're doing to ourselves. The Earth is the temple. Your body is the temple. So you, your planet Earth is a temple in itself.
yes, yes. And when I see things like how you guys were talking about Diddy and that type of stuff, I mean, who knows who's right and who's wrong? Either side, if it's a money grab or if it actually happened, it's this violence that we're committing amongst ourselves. Why can't there be peace? Why can't we learn how to be peaceful and love each other and resist violence? And it's like, how is it that we, in all of these millions and millions of years that the earth has been spinning and people have walked the earth, how is it that we have not learned to love one another?
Well, it's only a small period of time where we haven't loved one another. When you look at the grand scale, the history's been
I
distorted.
It,
So
Okay.
it's
it's
all
only
cyclical.
yeah,
So
but if you look at like
right, we
how
go to the highest it can be, and then we go to the lowest it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it goes to it starts level, goes high, and then gets level, and then it goes low, and then it comes back level, and then it goes high. And we just happen to exist at a time where it's at the bottom or very near.
But indigenous people love one another.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you can say, well, they had tribal wars and blah blah blah. I don't know if I buy into a lot of that. You know, it's just when
Who
this
started
greed
the
came
wars?
into picture, when this money got printed, when I think that's
Mm-hmm.
when things started being really distorted.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. So are we gonna talk about food and faith and
Well, Tori's got some
science?
questions.
And can I ask a question? Listen, I did not want to break my promise to you guys. I wanted to definitely be on the show, but I have been recovering from a lupus flare up for like the past few days. So I don't know
Well,
how long you need me to stay on the show for today. Do you need me for the whole 3 hours? If
It
so,
don't have
it's
to be that
cool.
long. It just depends on how long we talk, but we'll get it done quick.
Okay. I may need to have like a break for water or something like that.
Yeah, anytime,
yeah,
just
let us
let us
know because
know. But
Okay.
yeah, just let me know. Absolutely, I
Yeah. I
understand.
overdid it at Thanksgiving. I should have just we getting older. They should be invited. These kids should be inviting us to their house. But I
True,
tried to do something again, faith, food, health, science.
true.
I beat up on my own body,
Yeah,
trying to develop this community out here. I should have just came over to your house, Mills. No.
yeah. We were at a friendsgiving. Yeah, so yeah, if you
Oh
didn't let me know,
yeah.
you could have came through there. Go ahead, Tori.
I
Get the
have to
questions
think of
out.
that stuff even more.
how did your shy upbringing help shape you into the person that you've become?
It made me tough.
Okay,
And I know that's kind of to the point, but it made me tough.
for sure. I
I
mean,
mean, and you want me to elaborate on that at all? Or
yeah, sure, show. I mean,
so I can I want to see love and harmony and peace, but I know we live in a world that's not like that all the time. And so Chicago kind of taught me that I can't walk around being a marshmallow all the time. Like I have learned since my transition away from Chicago that I may be a little too tough. And because where I live, it is like literally flowers and rainbows. And it's like, are y'all kidding? I'm still adjusting to and still trying to figure out my surrounding where I am now. Like, are y'all serious? Or y'all just messing around? And who I gotta be ready for, just
Yeah.
in case. Because I'm gonna tell you, I was in class one day and one of my one of my classmates, he was he's we were talking about like racial violence or something like that. And
Uh-huh.
big guy, like Michael Orbig, right?
Hmm.
He started crying and he was just like and our teacher was kind of like, what's going on? Do you want to share? And he was like, I just really hate white people. And I was like, oh, I'm like, did you say that? I'm like, we can say
Well, they asked. But I'm like, but see, in Chicago, you're like, man, why you crying, man? Try your eyes off.
yeah,
that.
turn that
Right.
shit off. Who cares?
You ain't said
All of
nothing.
that,
Nobody else.
every aspect of that freaked me out. And I noticed in that moment from a psychological to clinical psychological, I was like flight, fright, freeze all in one, like I don't know what to do. and And so they say things like this in class, and then you got a professor like, yeah, I know my people are so awful to African Americans. And I'm just like, wait, are y'all playing? And so the transition from Chicago is, it's like,
Yeah, it's
I don't
different.
know, I'm a lot of times I'm still like flight, fright, or flight, what
Fight,
I'm still,
flight.
Freeze.
or freeze. I'm still kind of in those spaces because I'm just like, because Chicago really did make me kind of tough, right?
Oh yeah.
A poor kid on campus tried to offer me some of his French fries. I almost smacked him out of his hand because, like, twice I was like, "No thanks, no thanks." He's like, "You should try." I'm like, "Dude, I know what a French fry tastes like. Get this, you know." So, and I'm like, "Okay." In other parts of the world, people are kinder,
Yeah.
so don't be so edgy. But
Yeah.
I still felt like I apologized. I told him, yeah, Paul, I see that Chicago has a way of creating yeah. I mean, what you giving me these fries for, homie?
Yeah,
Like,
we all end up with PTSD, whether you're gonna
yeah,
fight or not. Which of the following would you prioritize to heal the copper culture? Spirituality, mindfulness, education, or capitalization?
you said which one?
Yeah, which one would you prioritize? Spirituality,
Spirituality.
spirituality? Why'd you say that?
And honestly, to me, spirit and mind work hand in hand. So they're kind of like the same to me. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if your spirit is intact, your mind is intact. But if your spirit is jacked up, then your mind is going to be jacked up. Does it make sense?
100%.
Those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, all of these are kind of wrapped up. Mindfulness, education, and then capitalization, right? Um,
Put that last. I think capitalization is why we fight so much,
I
why there's
think
so
you're
much
right.
violence.
But we've had people come on and say get the money first. And they weren't bad people.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. Just because you like to, I mean, who wouldn't like to have money? But I mean,
As a culture.
there is a verse in the Bible that says, "Seek righteousness first,
Hmm.
and all of the other things will be added unto you." And so, if we sought to do the right thing, everything else that we need will come.
I agree.
And And some people, I used to say this a lot, especially when I started my business. I was like, I don't chase paper, it chased me. I chase God.
Right.
I
Yeah,
chase
I
doing the
agree.
right thing. Right. So,
Spirituality, I agree 100%.
yes, that's a deep question.
Unpack reparations in your mind. And then we'll get to the food. We'll take a short break and then we'll get to the food and the culture.
Okay. So, unpack reparations. I agree wholeheartedly with Cat Williams.
Cat Williams. Okay, what did he say?
Oh gosh. So he talked about reparations. Okay, I'm gonna say two things. So one of my professors, Asian American, Pentecostal, um, he made this statement in class one day, and I was distracted doing something else, but my homie, big dude, that said he didn't like white people, he kind of put me up on what the guy said, and he said that African Americans could learn a lot from the Japanese about reparations. And my classmate got up and left. And I wasn't paying attention. So when he texted me and told me what he said, I was like, what? But going back to Cat Williams,
What do you mean by that?
well, he what he was trying to what he was saying that Japanese were able to get reparations and black people had not.
Right. So what do we need to learn from that? How did they get it?
I did not
get
we
there.
did not dig.
Yeah,
We did not dig.
everybody's gotten reparations but us. Slave owners, everyone.
Exactly. And when I say I agree with Cat Williams, we need reparations. I mean, he put it in a funny way, but he said, like, if they tabulated up what 40 acres and a mule would be for each of us and with interest over all of these years and just actually gave it to this country, look at how much it spends on war. You know?
Yeah.
Sacrificing
Like,
the baptism.
what if, I mean,
to get
okay,
paid reparations for what they and their ancestors have been through in American history. Look at the white people. Why now, Jack? I'll tell you, white people. And understand, I don't speak for all black people. But I do speak for all niggas. Yeah. And you're not supposed to know the difference. Yeah. All right, now. I don't want you to think I made it up. Black people, it's our money, and when do we need it?
Now.
You see that, white people? We didn't even rehearse that. That's how badly niggas need it. In our core, we need it. Some of our Hispanic brothers said now. It's the perfect time, America. Not just because it'll help black people, so what? Every black person wake up with 20 million in the bank. You think it's a great country now? Wait till
That's what I said. It needs some nice stimulus package.
Mills been saying that since jump.
you give away stimulus packages.
white people is not for black people. It's for you.
Country spends like $40 billion on wartime or more.
Yeah.
Trillion.
We spent
You drop 20 million in black people, every black person in America's bank account tomorrow. We will probably won't say nothing else about racism.
how much did we spend on immigration?
Right. Like, come
My
on.
goodness.
You drop $20 million in my account, I'd be like, all right.
The pandemic.
Man, people would be hustling and coming up, and there's a notion that everybody would be broke. No, they wouldn't.
No.
No, they
And the
wouldn't.
people
I'm
putting
seeing
up
our
all
people
that
selling
money.
loose cigarettes. You know what I mean? They
Right,
just
come
gonna
on.
start their own
I-
cigarette company.
So that's where unpacking that. Yes, I agree with Cat Williams now. Underlay. I mean, instead of not doing anything, like you said, we're the only ones that haven't.
The only one.
It'll stimulate the world economy.
It would.
Absolutely. You know how
Period.
many people will be outside the Nike store? No, I'm just
I was just thinking how many pair of Jordans I'd have. I was just thinking I had the ones, the twos,
They'll be buying the Nike store.
the fours.
right.
Yeah, you
Let
know
me-
what? You know what?
Nike.
How much for the whole store? How much for the
And
store?
the violence of not giving black people reparations for the violence that was inflicted on our ancestors over and over, the torture, and to just whitewash it and act like we're not supposed to think about it or say anything about
Yeah.
it's violent.
The violence,
especially when we have a group of people that overstates and talks about something that it happened to them and never forget and all that, and then tell us to forget.
Yeah.
Right in our face.
Yeah.
The same people.
We talking about violence. We talking about medical apartheid. We talking about we're
Yes.
building. We stood up from that. People, you guys got to work hard. We stood up from that multiple times all over America, and then they ran highways through our communities and burned everything down.
Yeah.
The U.S. military spent approximately $997 billion in 2024.
Right.
And only 20% of that went towards weapons. The rest went in somebody's pocket.
Yeah.
Yes, their pocket. And I'm just like, yeah, I agree with Cat Williams on that. 10 toes down. We wake up with a stimulus package in our $20 million. All right.
So if you're a senator and the reparations bill comes by your desk, how are you voting?
For the 20 million,
Yeah.
I will try to amend it to 50.
That's what I'm talking
We
about.
deserve more. No, and really, with everything that Black people have been through in this country, we just studied Nat Turner's
Insurrection.
we studied Nat Turner's his last words.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah. I know we gotta go to a commercial.
Commercial. Yeah, we're gonna take 6 minutes so you can stretch your legs out, and then we're gonna come back and get to the.
y'all. I'm gonna come back with the shades.
Oh yeah, you got your self love vision on.
Yes, I'll change. All right, guys.
All right, see you in 6 minutes.
Yes, y'all. It don't stop. Self Love Show rocks on. As you know how the story go. Self Love Show, food, faith, science, nourishing copper-colored America with Stacey Blackburn, Minister Stacey Blackburn. As always, we have some very important videos for you to check out to edutain you, and right back to talk to you about it. The Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
Moses fleeing the people from Pharaoh.
Right, let my people go.
40 years in a desert.
Manna.
Let's talk about what manna truly is. And
So Aganoski's in the Middle East right now saying manna is Peter.
can we put some sensibility to that? Being in the desert, and our Father, the Creator, loves us beyond. He's gonna rain down bread in a desert. Moses summoned the strongest men for them to dig, and that's where the whole term of so it is above, so it is what?
Below.
That means that Moses had the science for them to dig and find water.
Yeah, like the elephants can do.
So what do you find even in the desert when you dig down and find water? Do you find bread or do you find plants?
Definitely. So, okay. I saw this video that alleged that it was you involved in this crazy ass shootout. What was that situation? Maybe it might not have been you. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
Okay. But that wasn't related to any of the cases that you caught? Well played. Okay. So...
was some of my research, at USC. I did a survey. The question was, do you think that Jesus Christ was of African descent or European descent? Overwhelmingly, over 90-something% of the folks said African descent. I said, then do you think his ethnicity matters? They said, no, it doesn't matter. And I'm saying, it matters obviously to somebody.
It does.
Absolutely.
And it matters to white supremacy. But whenever there's a book called The Color of Christ, the saga of race, I think in America, they track when, most people say, well, this is something out of Europe and, who was that? Michelangelo painted,
Yeah.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with why Jesus is white. Jesus is white because of America. Jesus is white because of white supremacy in the Klan. That's why Jesus is white. That's where that comes from. It didn't stick in Europe because they knew better.
reason people are concerned about the words they use, the reason Americans care about civil rights, the reason we are sensitive to racism is for one issue and one issue only, and that is how Black Americans were treated in this country. It is because of the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. Those do not compare. Irish, the new groups, they always get a little bad treatment. Do not compare that to how blacks are treated in this country. You don't get to piggyback on the black experience in America. You do not get to do that just because you are a woman, an immigrant, gay, Hispanic. No, the rest of you can go F yourselves. No, this is for Black Americans. We seem to have forgotten them. It's not a rainbow coalition.
Various groups, feminists, gay rights groups, and those who are defending immigrants have commandeered the black civil rights experience.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
There is the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow laws. We don't owe the homeless. We don't owe feminists. We don't owe women who are desirous of having abortion. That's what civil rights has become for much of the left. Wait, can I just say, what have we done to the immigrants? We owe black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country.
Hey, Cleveland, you better hide the markers from your kids. Somebody colored in your Jesus.
Somebody colored in your ass with too much ass, fat ass.
We're going to go after you every game. And, that's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game. That's how we roll. We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play, every game.
That even the local news is ultimately both written for and controlled by a unified source, regardless of the network. Just watch this clip and you'll see how bad it really is.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things that aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. It don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the black community, for real.
Yeah.
Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro.
They're so ignorant.
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
Yes.
The Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
It's the Self Love Show. And here we go. Back again with Minister Stacey Blackburn, Food, Faith, Science, Nourishing the Copper-Colored America.
It's the Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. We do it for our people. The Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show.
Yes, sir. We do it for our people.
Suppose there are no equals.
Yes, sir. How has food historically served as both survival and resistance in Black America?
That's a really good question. I'm sorry. My ice just dropped over there. I'm like, what's going on over there?
It's all good.
Apology.
Yes, it's kind of in line of when you were talking about how you used to roll up to the neighbors, you know what I mean? And eat.
Okay, ask the question again.
How has food historically served as both survival and resistance in Black America?
That's a good question. I should have asked you guys for the questions before, so I could have laid some other stuff on it. Survival. I think we all need food to survive. As far as survival for Black people and resistance. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Well, I was thinking more of like on the plantation, you know how we took chicken wings and we made chicken wings the best part of the chicken
Yeah.
now. How the house Negro would bring food out to the field.
See, my guy Paul helped me. Soul food is what we own.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so soul food is what we own, right? It's
Yeah.
ours. And do you know it's funny how do you remember at one point soul food was like, oh, it's so bad for you and you shouldn't be eating like that and blah blah blah. Now you
Yeah.
got Thanksgiving. My mom made a statement that she was watching Good Morning America and she was like, oh, they showing white folks how to make cornbread dressing. And I started laughing at her because she was angry about that. And I said, Mom, why does that bother you? She says, go and eat your own food. And I went to the grocery store later that day to go and get some things for Thanksgiving to make for my little Friendsgiving that we had. And it was the aisle that had the cornbread mix was like full of people like, where's the cornbread? Where's the cornbread? And they're all going for Jiffy. And I was just like, okay. So it's and it's so it's indicative to like what we see in society, like how this race towards whiteness has been the thing. But when you look at it, it's just like it's a race towards blackness. They're always trying to let me not okay. I'm like, reel it in. I experience my experience in this country, everything that African Americans are great at, white people try and take and make their own. But when it's ours, they make it wrong. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Even
And
the
so,
lingo. So if you're in a corporate meeting and you use certain lingo, you're looked at as ghetto and how dare she use that type of unprofessional talk in this boardroom. But then they can come in and use the lingo that we used 10 years ago and they're seen as cool and hip and everybody laughs and
right,
it's okay.
right. What's up, bro? You're like,
Uh-huh. Yeah. I noticed
so
that with the
like,
lingo a long time ago. I'm like, so when they
yeah,
use the
yeah, yeah.
lingo, it's okay, but when I use the lingo, it's
So
not professional.
so now when it comes to soul food, which was so bad,
Allegedly.
right?
People
Which
are
was
living to
so
be
bad,
110 years old.
now I can't go to a farmer's market out here like when it first opens and find collard greens
No.
because they're all sold out,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, oh, collard greens and cornbread, collard greens and cornbread. And it's like, okay. So first that was collard greens and cornbread and fatbacks, and
And
it was
collard
all bad.
greens were literally weeds that nobody wanted to eat. And
Right.
we pulled them out and learned how to make it into a delicacy.
Let me tell you, my great aunt, she would come to our house in Union Pier, Michigan, and she would go like all around like where we lived, and she had a big garbage bag full of what my grandfather used to say, "Oh, here comes LV picking all these weeds." And
Mm-hmm.
I asked her, I'm like, "What is that?" And she said, "It's poke salad."
Yeah, poke salad. Yeah.
Self know
Yeah,
about it.
and when you
You
look
go
at
down in the South, take
if
his
you
shoes off.
Shit, Mr. Black grew
Put a
poke
stick in
salad.
his mouth.
You remember Mr. Black?
Yeah, I remember Mr. Black. Yeah.
He grew poke salad. That's where I learned about
he
poke
grew
salad.
poke salad.
But
Across the Baldwin.
Did you ever try it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was,
It's like spinach.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Stacey, because I've watched on the news here where it's a big deal that white people go around and they're doing that, showing you how to survive in a city, and all this is edible. And I'm like, wait a minute, we've been doing it. Mr. Black's been doing this for years.
Yes. So now we're eating dandelion
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so LV lived, I believe she was 99 when she passed away.
Wow.
Right? But poke salad.
Are you saying
This is
poke?
interesting.
P-O-L-K?
P-O-K-E.
Oh, P-O-K-E. Oh, that's like pokey and
Poke
ramen.
salad. It's from pokeweed.
Okay.
It
All right,
is
poke salad.
it's grown, it comes up naturally in the Midwest.
Yes.
And it is actually a cure for a lot of things.
Such
right?
as?
Oh, you want me to go into all of that?
Just pick out a few.
HIV.
Wow. Don't get me started on that. That's a whole nother show.
Immune system, lymphatic system.
Wow.
It's called the juice from it. You know how when we drink
Pot liquor.
when I used to get sick, yeah. When I would get sick, and God willing it be around the time that we just had Thanksgiving dinner or something, my dad would cook some greens and make me drink the pot liquor.
Yeah, pot liquor. Yeah. We could mix
Survival
that with a little
and
alcohol and sell
right
it in the
there.
wintertime and have a little thing.
Oh, he would never give me alcohol, but ever.
He talking about
but
now. Is he talking about making a profit off it?
Yeah. It's America at the end of the day.
But poke salad, and like poke root tea and all of those things are things that can shrink cancer cells. You know, it
Wow.
can reverse
Along with
heart
dandelion.
disease. Yeah, it can reverse heart disease and diabetes. It
And
can
look how
regulate your sugar.
abundant dandelion grows.
That shit just come up naturally and just
Yeah, but
Remember, we used to go around and blow the spread more dandelion.
or pour poison on it from Monsanto.
Oh boy.
Yeah, my neighbors and all them, they want me to poison mine. I'd be like, nope.
So have you ever done that? Because I know people have made tea and stuff using dandelion. I didn't know.
Just ate some dandelion greens a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
dandelion out
greens.
Here,
man.
Out here, there's a farmer's market somewhere every day. Right?
True.
Where you can get fresh beets and fresh dandelion greens and all types of stuff, right? But it was plenty of those and no collard greens. I'm like, okay.
Have y'all ever had fresh cranberries? Like cranberry sauce?
Yeah.
I never had that until this Thanksgiving. It was
Listen,
good.
we're talking about food and science.
I thought I didn't like cranberry sauce because of the canned stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
A
I like
really
the fresh
good
stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Get you some fresh cranberries, some rosemary, some thyme, some ginger, lemon, and boil that together.
It was delicious.
I feel like I'm missing one thing. That's a good anti-inflammatory.
Antioxidant. Yeah.
Yes. And most of our sicknesses start with inflammation. So when you drink stuff like that, it reduces inflammation. So to go back to your question, for survival, the truth of the matter is a lot of the crops that are grown in the United States now came from the Africans putting those seeds wherever they could when they were on the ship.
Don't get Tory started. And the indigenous people too.
That's when we talk about our agricultural system. That's
Right.
exactly it came from Africans and it came from the indigenous, it came from the
Right.
black indigenous people that
Thank
were
you.
here
The
in the
black
South
Indians.
that
Thank
were
you.
whitewashed
With a Geechee?
and put on reservations, or
All
either
right, Tori,
put
there
in
you go.
slavery. Can I just say it like
Thank
I
you for
feel it?
saying that, because you were going to send him on a tangent otherwise.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it like I feel it, right?
No, say it. We're loving it.
We know that black people here were not just brought over here on boats. Black people, when you look at Choctaw Indians, I'm sorry for saying that, Choctaw indigenous peoples and Chickasaw, Potawatomi. Come on, these were darker skinned people that were whitewashed, and the ones that were acceptable and whitewashed were recognized by the United States and thrown on the reservations, but the rest were enslaved and mixed with African Americans. And this is where our agricultural system came from. And so what they wouldn't eat is what we would eat because we knew what it was.
Did you learn that at University of Illinois when you're getting your ag sciences degree?
I did.
You learned that there?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I didn't learn that. I had to do more. I had to do my own research.
Right.
Right. I had to go and dig in the Tuskegee files.
Right.
But the reason that I mentioned my great aunt is because she knew that because of her indigenous heritage in the South. Right. All the black people that was on the plantation was not just slaves. I mean, let's just keep it real. Let me say not just Africans, right? And so when those cultures emerged or merged together, that's when you got the collard greens. That's when you learn how to make the cornbread. That's when you learn what to do with the sweet potatoes and the okra. Some came from Africa, some came from this native land, right?
Well, Tori don't believe any of it came from Africa. He
Tory?
discounts the entire slave trade.
Tori,
No, I don't. Discount it.
Tori, we are here. I'm just trying to be politically correct right now. And my professor just told me the other day, being politically correct is the same thing as lying. So I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
I don't
It
believe there
is.
were
It's worse than lying.
Exactly. Let's keep it 100. I don't believe that there were slave ships.
Wow. Not a one.
And if there were, they came to say that we didn't just steal the land and enslave the people that were here. We brought them over on boats. So I believe they did bring some from Africa. Ceremonially to mix races, to try to switch up the DNA. This is why when we do DNA tests now, they say black people don't have Native American indigenous blood.
Oh no, there's a whole nother reason for that. That's a
whole lie.
The whole DNA, the whole DNA system is set up upon them using
they're gonna delete
groups
this one
of people
too,
that they've said, or who they say, and it also says in the fine print of all of them that it's for entertainment purposes only, and you can't tell where a group of people
absolutely.
So,
I mean, and let's like really look at it. Like if you look at how the continents are shaped, like the Eastern Americas, like literally attached to Africa, right? So I believe at one point it was one continent that probably was shaken by an earthquake or something.
They had a name for that. Patagonia or something?
Pangea.
Pangea. Yeah.
And they've tested the soils. No, they've tested the soils on both parts of those lands, and it is very similar, like identical.
Right. So the same things that we're eating on African soil, we're eating over here. That's why we like the same things.
Well, I will say this. Everywhere you travel, you see people who look just like us, and they're in the same position overall as us, right? Subservient. And then you automatically assume, oh yeah, they were brought over here during slavery, right? It's the way you've been educated to automatically assume, oh yeah, they were brought over here on ships from Africa.
That's the programming. That's what the educational
As though
programming
we could
system is.
navigate on our own.
Oh my God. Like, and if you look at, see, this is where school has been very beneficial. Early migration routes started on the eastern parts of Africa,
right?
And went east, right? So that's how you get people in Asia and China, and they
Right.
came all over to South America and North America. But we want to be told this narrative that they migrated from Asia. I'm like, okay, well, how did they get to Asia?
You're talking about the Native Americans, exactly. And we're told that they brought Africans from the central part of Africa to the eastern part of Africa to put on boats. The only part about it I said is if I was doing slave trade, I would have been bringing young children.
They said they took West Africa.
I wouldn't have been bringing like big buck grown men. Like if I'm gonna go to Compton and say I'm gonna abduct, 100 people and put them on my farm and make them slaves, I'm not gonna grab the Bloods and the Crips and the MS-13, the grown men. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
I'm probably gonna make a deal with the heads of these places. Give me some of these foster kids, you know what I mean, and I can bring them over here.
And what I'm going to tell you guys what I've noticed about food. We like literally eat the same thing. I was in Little Ethiopia.
Oh yeah, Fairfax.
Yeah, I was in Little Ethiopia.
Yeah, so if you love Little Ethiopia, you love eating like that. They got some great restaurants over there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So I've never eaten Ethiopian food before. And I went to go get some Ethiopian coffee. And the guy was like, hey, you're Ethiopian? I'm like,
maybe.
I'm like, no, I'm not. He was like, and he was insistent. He was like, yes, you are. And he was like, yes,
I can
you
see
are.
that. I can see that though.
He was like, come on, sit down. What do you want? I'm like, I don't know what to order. I was just coming to get coffee.
I
And
can
he
see
was
that
like,
though. It's a lot of Ethiopians out here, and I can see that, Stacy.
yeah, they had me eating, and I was just like, this is just
Was the coffee
pureed
good?
soul food. Huh?
Was the coffee any good?
I understand why they raped Ethiopia for coffee.
Everything.
I totally understand because that coffee like gives life to your soul.
All right, let's reel this
It's
back
a
in a
different
little
coffee.
bit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But I'll just let you know, Ethiopian coffee does bring life to your soul. It's like a different coffee drinking experience. Not
What
Colombian coffee, not none of that.
what role does spirituality play in the way copper communities approach food and nourishment, if any?
I would say a huge role. Food has been the central component to bringing us together communally. It's love, right? And when it's just kind of like when you go out and fulfill, either you're going to go out and fulfill purpose or you're going to go out and make money. Food is kind of the same way. Either you're going to make it with love and it create community and it creates a sense of love and it creates healing within your village or your family, right? Or if you make it without love, it's just gonna be food. Does that make sense?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. The way
We just lost
the way your grandmother food tastes really, really good. It's that love that she was making it with, preparing.
I mean, let's even dig deeper. Not even the way that grandma cooked it, but remember when our grandmothers grew it in our backyards in Chicago?
Yeah.
And we didn't have to go to Pete's to get greens. She could go
No,
right in the
right
backyard
there.
or in the community garden.
Potatoes,
The
sweet
block club
potatoes,
had,
all that.
yeah, right. And then when you think about before them and the generations before them and how they say the food is so different and how it tastes different because you got to go buy it from the store because they used to farm it themselves. And that was farmed with love because now you're tending to the earth and now you're seeding into the earth and you're nurturing the earth
And
so
you're
that
not
it
using
bears fruit.
Monsanto seeds and you're not spraying Monsanto poisons on it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Taking care of the
exactly.
animals, and you know what, you're feeding them and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, and what would it look like if we went back to that, right? Like that was the point of my little garden out on my porch that the squirrels ate was was I was like, dudes, that was for me, not
They
you.
were like, "Thank you." Oh
They
my
were like,
God.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
they love you.
I can't believe it. Can
They
you
were
believe
watching
it?
her.
Hey,
They were watching
hey,
her
hey,
planet, weren't they? So
hey, come over here on this porch. This porch over here. I'm telling you, she's
I
got
think
the
she's planting
shit.
food. We got to come back around here.
She's
Then
got
they
the
started
shit going
burying
on. I'm
their
talking
own
about when they
stuff in
first.
it.
You got to
They
put a
started
squirrel
burying
feeder.
apples and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute.
You got to put a squirrel feeder out there. Like, give them their alternative, so they can stop messing with your food.
Listen, these squirrels out here are another, they not like Chicago squirrels.
No,
Anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
or that
But
squirrel hole.
the squirrel, right? You stump at a squirrel in Chicago and it runs. You stump at one here, it's like, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
What you stumping for? Right. But anyway, but growing your own food, it's so many things are different. Technology just screws up everything. I went to a black farm in Bakersfield, California, and I got collard greens from there. I got a whole bunch of different stuff. And the food was so good, right? And then you think about, you said grandma cooked with love. Okay, I cooked it with love for myself because self-love. I'm making this and nurturing myself, right?
Yeah. The
But
Self
it
Love Show.
started from where it came from, right? It started from where it came from. And it came from in in the ground, tending with our own hands, watering with taking our own time to water it and watch it grow and nurture it so that it can grow up to become something that we can nurture our own bodies with. And that's like a whole ecosystem of love. And the fact that we don't do that, that's one of the reasons why I do like to go to the farmers markets and shop out here versus going into a grocery store to get stuff. Even though you don't know, I mean, you really don't know how these farmers are nurturing, the crops that they grow on their farms, but, at least it's not touching as many hands as it touches in the grocery store. And then once you get to the grocery store, there's food inequality there and racism that happens there because if you live in a black neighborhood, you're getting the leftovers from the white grocery stores.
Yeah.
And the white grocery stores are getting like the first-hand freshest stuff. That's why, even when we did live in Chicago, you'd have to go out way somewhere to not get jacked up produce, or
Everything to get good service at the
yeah.
post
And
office.
so
Go to a different neighborhood.
I'm noticing a lot of people that have moved out here or have moved out west. A lot of my friends that have moved out west from Chicago, they are growing their own food because it starts there. That's where the love starts, not just when you put it in the pot, but it starts when you put the seeds in the ground because that's a part of replenishing the earth. And all of that relates to your health. One of the reasons that I wanted to purchase what we bought with sweet potato patch, early on, I wanted to buy from black farmers because I wanted that ecosystem of love. And so I remember so many of the Black farmers that I worked with, they couldn't afford the USDA tag of organic, right? But everything they did when it came to their crops was organic, especially when they grew collard greens and mustard greens and turnip greens and sweet potatoes and stuff like that, and they sent it to us. They tended to that stuff with love. The other crops that they had, soybean, corn, all that stuff, they just planted that for commodity and for cash. But the food that they grew that would come to us was steeped in love. And the outcome, was they sent it to us, we cooked it with love, and moms and babies didn't die. Older adults, their health got better, right? And so that's why I was so intentional with my company, with Sweet Potato Patch. When I founded it, was like, this has to be not just the ecosystem of Black people making money, but an ecosystem, our community. This is our community of love, the circle of love. And even though some of it came from Georgia and ended up in Chicago or where, what have you, it was all a community of love, and it actually helped our community as a whole. I wish that there could be a better infrastructure that wasn't just centered on make money, make money, make money off of this, right? But, can we get to an infrastructure around food and spirituality where it's about the food and the spirit and not just about let me make some money selling my greens and let me make some money selling my meals? Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
Nation of Islam said, eat
Is
to
that a real
live.
cat?
Yeah, that's Squirt. We rescued her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was your background because you got a mouse back there. I'm like, how come it's not catching?
That mouse is chasing the money. That's the trap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's the cheese, rather. We actually call it
Mhm.
cheese too, cheddar. All right.
Yeah.
So great job. What let's see here. How can food science help us reclaim traditional copper or African American diets while addressing modern health challenges such as diabetes, hypertension, stroke? You know what I mean?
I think that there's too much science in food.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's as simple as putting seeds in the ground and growing them and not spraying them with pesticides. You know, I think that there's way too much science that goes into it. The science of processing, the science of breaking it down, the science of overcooking it, and the science of overboiling it, over processing, blah, 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 right? I think we overdo it when it comes to food, when really, if you just pull it off the shelf raw and put it in a pot and add some nice herbs, all of that is good for your soul. Just like I was telling you with the cranberries, right? There's no science to that. I guess the science is learning what each plant does, right? If we had more knowledge around that, then I think that people would be a little bit intentional from a scientific standpoint and from a medicinal or medical standpoint, knowing how to combine certain foods and put them together so that it's good for your soul and good for your body, your like the whole body, soul, spirit experience. That's the science. Learn understanding what it does. Like just as simple as looking up what poke salad does or what and how to prepare it properly, so that and what parts of the plant to eat and not to eat, and what's going to be good for you. And yeah, just and and I don't know if you want to call that science or research, just taking care to research what you put in your mouth. I was telling a friend the other day that, as we're getting older, we have to be more mindful, especially in our generation, more than our parents' generation and the generation before. These generations have lived a lot longer than we are living in our generation. And a lot of that has to do with some of the more processed items that we were exposed to as young people when we were growing up. They didn't have TV dinners. We did. They didn't have Flaming Hots. We did. They didn't have Pepsi. They didn't have all of that stuff, candy store stuff. We had more
Go
of
get a
that.
pack of hot dogs. They didn't have all that like that.
Yeah, no, they didn't. McDonald's was like a sin in our house. Like you
Yeah.
didn't go in there. That's a
And even
special
McDonald's
occasion.
wasn't doing all that science with the food back then, but it was,
No, it was just a hamburger
yeah,
and some tomatoes and
yeah,
kept it moving,
yeah.
you know.
2001.
But so when we look at self-love and faith and food and science and like putting that all together, like I would say specifically for our generation right now, we really need to be mindful, not just for us, but for the next generations following us, because we've had more opportunity to be violent towards our bodies based on what we're putting in it, based on what's on these shelves. Specifically in African American communities, because our communities are inundated with all of these overly processed, high salt, shelf stable foods, because you get food stamps, you don't have a car, you got to buy a whole bunch of shelf stable stuff that's going to last you for the month, because nobody's going to take you back and forth to the grocery store.
And it's a myth that that stuff is cheaper to produce. It's actually more costly to produce that poison, but the government subsidizes these companies with our taxpayer
Yes.
dollars and makes it viable for them to put poison in our community.
Yes. Like how can they say that it doesn't, it's not as, come on. If I go into my garden and chop some collard greens
Right.
and the onion, that doesn't cost anything.
And if you're saying the food is going to spoil without all these preservatives and drugs in it, then subsidize those people. Subsidize those stores that are putting whole foods and may have to throw out some food because it went bad. Subsidize them. Don't subsidize the ones that's putting processed poison on the shelves.
Or how about give us our 40 acres and a mule and let us grow it ourselves?
Well, there's that.
I mean, come on. But in this country, if you poor, you can't own land.
Well, that's a
can't
whole
own
thing. Because
That's a
between
whole nother
Gates and
show.
Monsanto, they're buying all the farmland up.
Yeah. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
And now here we are in a space where you got people that you deporting, and now you got fields overgrown and not picked and all. It's just nuts.
Man, I buy my brown eggs and they just got dirt all over them. I guess they ain't got a machine and they ain't got the immigrants to do it. It just come
You
dirty.
bought some dirty brown eggs?
Did I do what with the dirty brown egg?
Did you say you bought some dirty brown eggs?
Yeah, that's how they come. They come dirty now at the grocery store because nobody's cleaning them. They don't have enough hands on deck to clean the eggs.
I get mine from the farmer's market. They don't
Yeah.
come dirty.
Yeah,
You need to go to the farmer's market.
Yeah, well, somebody cleaned those before they presented them at the
Yeah, they
farmer's
did.
market.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah, they're dirty. You got to clean them off.
Probably did. They were taking them to sell them, so
Yeah.
they cleaned them off. But
Yeah.
Because the chicken's not
they
just
still did that.
Yeah, there you go.
They
Right,
did.
so right. The chicken's not gonna clean
Listen,
them
I
off.
promise you, I go to the farmer's market. I don't mess around in these stores out here.
They're expensive too.
Are
They
They
are the
are
stores. The stores.
they're extra expensive at the stores, and you can get like great. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, when I go to the farmers market out here, you know those wagon things that we used to take out to the house picnic to carry all our stuff in to go to set up our tents. They be having those kind of wagons full of raspberries and all type of stuff. I mean, just stacks. Like you would think that the food that they buying at this farmers market and they putting in these baskets, this gonna last them for like 3 months, and they be right back the next week.
And
But
the
that's the
thing
stuff
about
that
Whole
they don't
Foods,
tell us that they not in Whole Foods. The young people, the young whippersnappers are in Whole Foods. They not doing that. But the older Caucasian people are out at these farmers markets. They're like, no, we know what we need to do for our bodies. Yeah, they do.
well, I mean, when I say Whole Foods, I don't mean the way the stores taking over the term, hijack the term. I mean, your natural foods. Think about those foods. You don't have to eat as much of it either to feel full, right? That's what you come to realize, that it has more vitamins and more nutritions. So your salad doesn't have to be as big. You don't have to use as much of those blueberries or grapes or whatever it might be, because it's got all the nutrients in it that it's supposed to have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had to catch myself again. I'm not being politically correct, but I also know that I can't just say everything. But like, okay, so when you go and get like Asian fusion food,
Uh-huh.
Chinese food, you be like, you eat all of this food and then an hour later you're hungry.
Yeah.
That's because it has no substance,
Yeah.
right? So, but when you go out and eat this food that you've grown, or fresher fruits and vegetables, I can eat a bag of grapes and be okay.
Mm-hmm.
For that's a meal,
Or a
like
salad
for
and be okay for the whole day.
a bowl of broccoli and be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A
Can
bowl
you
of fruit in
not
the
get a
morning.
cage or something to put around your flowers so that the squirrels don't eat it? Don't they
Oh,
sell that?
those are still bothering you. They ate it all.
But I'm saying
I
for
felt
next time,
like
can't you get something to stop the squirrels from getting to it?
it was just one of those like flower beds.
Yeah.
So the energy to construct a gate for that little thing, it's like a flower box.
I know what you're saying. It's got to be some wires. Find one of the
I
immigrants.
mean,
They'll
I would
make you one.
probably do
Okay.
it next time because
I
they
need something to K.
annihilated.
I need something to keep the squirrels K. You know what
They
I mean?
listen, annihilated my little garden. I put kale in there. I put I put collards in
I
there.
work hard.
I
I
put
work hard.
thyme, and I put rosemary and green peppers. I could fit all of that in there. They ate it. They ate it. They started at the roots.
All right. You got to find a way to
They
put
were
some.
smart because I was just like, it doesn't seem like they're eating the plants.
We got squirrels. We got possums out here. We got the raccoons.
They,
All kind of stuff
they
was
were
feasting.
they were digging up under the soil and eating the roots. I didn't think they were doing. I just thought that maybe they're digging something and leaving something. But they were digging and eating the roots, and then my plants started just to die because I was watering them.
The roots
And
got the most
yeah, they ate the
vitamins
roots.
in it.
And then they would look at me, like look straight in my window, like,
Plant some more.
where the rest of our plants? We don't have no more roots. What you gonna do? Plant some more stuff. Yeah. And then they started planting their own stuff. Like they would bring little apples and bury it in my soil. I'm like, forget it. I don't want it no more. But I do want to plant my own stuff. But there's always the option to go out to Bakersfield and tend to my garden on the weekend, but that's like almost a 2-hour drive. But being out there, like on that black farm, oh my God, that was so, listen, if you ever have an opportunity to just go out and visit a black farmer and just sit on their farm, the quietness out there, it did something to my soul.
Yeah.
And I I mean, drove through the mountains, all of that. And once I got out there, it was like surrounded by pistachio trees and avocado trees, but it was such a stillness and quietness. And this one specifically is not in Bakersfield. It's in Allensworth.
But
And
you were
that was the
probably a
first,
farmer in your previous life or something, which is why you study ag sciences, which is
well,
why you feel
my
at home when
grandparents
you're on the
were
farm.
farmers. My grandparents were farmers. I just
Yeah,
didn't know they were my grandparents at the time.
yeah,
But that stillness was, I mean, it just went through my whole soul because there was no sirens, no noise, no
yeah.
nothing. It was just still and quiet. And that place in particular, you have to look it up. Allensworth, California. That was the first town settled by Black people.
In California.
Yeah, it's called Allensworth.
That sounds like ancestral echoes.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it was.
No,
And
but
it's sad to kind of see it now, the surrounding area, there's a lot of um Latin Americans now settled in the area. Not a lot crazy, but it's like, and then it's instead of farming, it's just like piled up with junk. But
Yep,
then their pistachio farms all around it. It's
piled up with
weird.
junk. Try
Yes.
Phoenix TV said hello, checking in, been listening. Miss Stacy, thanks for dropping knowledge. Try,
Oh,
try Phoenix TV.
hey, Aretha. That's Aretha.
Um, unpack urban food deserts, and what's your solution for that?
I don't know that there is a solution. And and I say that because it's systemic. It's on purpose. Urban food deserts are on purpose. It's it's just another form of racism.
So it's targeted genocide.
Yeah. So my solution, like I thought my business was a solution or gonna be a solution to that, but that's a whole nother show. Right? Like, oh yes, food deserts are so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. We need to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Put grants out here. Put grants out here. And all of this hoopla over it was just to shut people up that
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And shut us up, beat us down, you know, say we support your businesses, but do
Mm-hmm.
everything behind your back to try to tear it apart, you know, just to make things go back to normal.
Well, that sounds like when
Oh,
I ask people, community builders on the show, I ask them what's the solution, and a lot of them kind of come with the same thing, that when you get in the community and you're trying to stop the violence and all of that, you become labeled the enemy at some point.
you become labeled the enemy, or sometimes even within the community mills, it's too far gone. The programming is too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here we want to have a place with fresh fresh fruit and fresh vegetables right at your doorstep. And we don't want this.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay to go to Pete's owned by Greeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a two-edged sword. Like, what's the solution? I don't know. I
I think you were
really,
hitting
I
on it earlier when you said what we have to do. You're right, as far as how, you live by example, you lead by example. You got people who are monkey see, monkey do. So we got young ones watching us, and I think that's probably the best we can do is just lead by example.
I honestly, I think that the hard part in Chicago, and by the way, Tor, since you're in Chicago, you go check on my mama, make sure she all right with the snow
okay.
for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. we let our neighbor use the snowblower and he said that it wasn't working. I'm like, okay, then fix it. But anyway, I digress. But unlike I think about I go back to our grandparents. My grandmother, even though it was Chicago and it was snow in the wintertime, they still planted food. They still had gardens along their fence. And then when they picked all their stuff, they canned it and put it in those
In the
jars and
pantry.
put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mason
They did
jars
their
and
own
canned it.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember them going to the grocery store and coming back with
They lived through the
tens of thousands
Depression,
of
so they
bags.
had a totally different mindset. They said
Right.
never again. They felt that hunger pain and they said never again.
Yeah. And so they understood, and that goes back to your food for survival and resistance. You
Right.
know, in a way, they resisted the systems that were coming into our communities, the systems of like the mega stores, the Jewel Oscos and stuff that closed down the little mom and pop stores,
Yep.
right? They resisted that because they felt it was bad. And I can remember back when I was younger, my grandparents and my parents not supporting those big stores at first because they were closing down their neighbor stores.
My grandmother used to always tell me, "Yeah, you can just plant this." And I remember helping her in the backyard and stuff, and asking her, "Why you doing all this?" And we can just go to the grocery store. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, we were like,
I
just
was
let's go
ignorant.
to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And then they used to tell us, like, okay, that grocery store gonna be the death of y'all. But and for real, because what did they do? They ripped grocery stores out when they stopped getting tax credits.
Yeah, sure
That's
did,
what
didn't it?
happens. They build grocery stores and then they take them away.
Put all the mom and pop shops out of
When the
business,
tip,
And
yeah,
then
when
take
the
them
tip
away.
funding
and
is
then take
gone,
them
when
away.
the tax, yeah, when the tax incentives are gone, they leave.
Like during the pandemic, all the mom and pop stores were selling out and cashing out and getting their government money. And I told Tori, and I was watching 7-Eleven building brand new stores. They were building up from the ground. That was such a money grab. What happened to us during the scamdemic, the Peter pandemic?
Yeah. Oh, Rita said her neighbors had
Pandemic.
strawberries growing in the winter. I don't know how they did that. They were like some magicians. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, it's just when
But
spring comes, then they bloom. You know what I mean? That's the thing about it.
yeah.
You
But
know?
we have to look for different ways or different methods to be able to sustain ourselves in the food space by faith, right? By
Mm-hmm.
faith. Like when I think about resistance, I think about what we need to be doing as African Americans to pull ourselves away from depending on these white systems that keep us dependent on them.
Pink
Because
systems.
what if they take it away? They do it now. Look, they'll take a Walmart away in a minute.
Hot
You
second.
go to the desert, you know. So what do we do to not have to depend on them? We got to learn how to start growing our own food. That's the first step in eradicating a solution for food deserts. Start putting some of those. Y'all need to have Rob Lane on the show. He have a whole little farm in Chicago, like right next to his house.
Yeah, one of our Capper brothers, he's big into that too. I might ask him, Jeff Shavers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How are
he's
people
yeah.
creating these their gardens and grow your own food?
Yeah, he's been doing that for some years. He's getting really good at it. And he's working with the neighborhood over there in Inglewood where he grew up, where they have these vacant lots, and he's part of that, planting the food over there and stuff.
Yeah. Why not buy up these vacant lots? One of the things that I have wanted to do for a long time is teach people how to use shipping containers, like the shipping containers that you see on the trains.
Mm-hmm.
Those can be repurposed into greenhouses.
Greenhouses. You can grow marijuana in it.
Put the okay, yeah, that too. But but put those on some of those vacant lots. And one vacant lot does arugula, and one does cucumbers, and one does tomatoes, and we all come together communally and exchange this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, see, those are solutions. I got a short 1-minute video I want to show you because it's related to a question here. And we're wrapping it up.
German juggernaut Bayer decided to make a move on Monsanto. The German juggernaut Bayer decided to make a move on Monsanto, the heavyweight of seeds. Bayer, the chemical and pharmaceutical giant, setting its sights on the seed maestro. It's like Thor deciding he wants to be a gardener. The world collectively raised an eyebrow. But wait, it gets crazier. On May 18th, the news broke like a storm. Bayer offered a mind-blowing $42 billion to snatch up Monsanto. That's like buying a small country, folks. The possibilities were endless, the speculation rampant. Would this create the ultimate agri-dream team or a Frankenstein monster of chemicals and seeds? Fast forward to May 19th, and Monsanto breaks its silence.
They're crazy.
Unsolicited, non-binding proposal, they said. Translation, Bayer's knocking. But we're not sure if we'll answer. The plot thickens, and the suspense is killing us. Will they? Won't they?
So Big Bayer, I don't know, it was Bayer.
Bayer owns Monsanto.
Already?
Yeah.
So why would they be offering 42 million?
I don't know what they talking about, but Bayer owns Monsanto, unless I'm saying something that I shouldn't be saying. But all of my friends that work at Monsanto still, their emails say Bayer.
Wow. Let me see when that video, let me see, when was this video made?
Was that old?
That's a good question. No, it's only 1 year ago. Wow. Well, okay, so my question is this. Rumor is that if you're a farmer, and I don't know if you've asked any of these farmers like in Bakersfield or whatever, supposedly they have a deal with Monsanto where they can't use their seeds. Like they can only replant the seeds they get from Monsanto?
That is so old news. Okay,
So
so
explain.
first of all, Bayer acquired Monsanto in 2018 for $63 billion.
Damn.
I don't know what that video is.
Okay.
So Bayer acquired Monsanto in 2018. Okay, so
Wow.
they're gonna delete this, but since you want to know,
Go ahead. We want to go there. So a pharmaceutical company owns Monsanto.
yes,
Okay.
but Monsanto has typically always owned or been partnered with a pharmaceutical company.
Drugs.
Did you know that the drug Celebrex was created by Pfizer when Monsanto at one point owned Pfizer? And Celebrex, I remember when I worked there, we could go and listen to scientific talks, and Celebrex shrunk cancer cells. And they knew that. Gosh, when did I work for them? Gosh, that was before 2000.
Do you know what the elements of the drug was that they shrank the?
No, I was a plant scientist. I just was eavesdropping.
Because you can do that with vibrations, I hear, frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so Celebrex, which was for arthritis, shrinks cancer cells.
So, but that was never a big study. But is it true that farmers can't
the farmers
use their own seeds?
So if a farmer buys seeds from Monsanto,
right,
they can only plant for that 1 year.
Right.
They can't, the seeds that they grow, the seeds that they can gather from that 1 year crop,
Correct.
if they put those back in the ground, it won't grow. It's called a gene lock.
Wow.
How do I know that? Because I worked on the gene lock gene
Wow.
right before I quit.
So you helped create it.
I won't say I helped. Well, it was my job. But there were certain, I thought that was
like the
awful.
Nazis, don't she?
That was my job. It was my job. So you would have to, what they could do is either repurchase seed or there was something they could spray it with to unlock the gene.
But you had to get that spray from Monsanto.
Wow.
Is that a secret?
Yeah, and we're eating this food. I mean, it just seems dumb, but I guess Monsanto can't run a business if.
No, let me say this. I used to always say, as a scientist from Monsanto, I'm like, oh, there's nothing up with GMOs, and people have been eating GMOs for the longest. The McDonald's potato. Remember, you get those McDonald's fries with. At one point, they would have those black things on it, on the fries, and then all of a sudden,
they were clean.
McDonald's fries are just all golden, delicious.
But they were better when they had those little traces of the. I thought it was traces of the.
So that's a GMO. That's a GMO potato.
So you said when you worked there, you were like, it's all good because McDonald's has been doing it for years.
I didn't see any evidence of harm. But then I got to thinking, like, what could this look like in further generations?
Correct.
Generations down. And now, I mean, when you look at the interactions between what's happening with people, and health, and because they took the COVID vaccine and all of these things mixing together, like, and I mentioned the COVID vaccine because I think of my dear father, and I think about caring for him, and I can remember, like, he was literally close to death, and we had to suction his mouth all of the time. And sometimes they would have to, like, try to get stuff, so he get stuff out of his throat so he could breathe. And the nurse, she got something out of his throat, and it was like, it was this long thing. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
What was
and I took a picture. So in my scientific brain, it looked like a strand of DNA, looked like a strand of RNA. And then I talked to his nurse about it, and she said, yeah, we've been finding that in a lot of patients that took those booster shots that's on their deathbed.
So they didn't just take the vax, but they were taking the booster shots.
The booster shots.
Yeah.
And I know my dad had a booster shot. And so I saved it and I put it in a Ziploc bag. And when I came back to it, like, it was after he died, days after he died, it crushed up like a piece of paper. And that's when you extract DNA or RNA from whatever body that it was in, it crumbles up like a little paper.
It dries out.
Yeah, it just dries out. And so what they took out of my dad, I was like, so when you think about the COVID booster and the COVID shot, it was all messenger RNA.
Yep.
Right? And I'm like, and my first thought was, what happens to this messenger RNA? Where does it go? Right? And when they
They
pulled
didn't
that
want to
out of
listen
my
to
father,
scientists like you. But go ahead. I want to hear it. Go ahead. Nobody
nobody
was
wants to
listening to you.
listen. Because my mom told me she was watching Good Morning America again, and she said, "You know how you said that celebrates." Tori, that's how my mama talks, right? She said, "You know how you said that celebrates shrinks cancer cells." She said they just talked about it on Good Morning America, and you've been saying that for years. I'm like, I know.
Right.
I told you that. Like when our cousin was dying of lung cancer, I was like, give her some Celebrex. And the doctor was like, why? I'm like, because I'm a scientist at Monsanto. The
Well, the
nurse said,
doctor's got his white coat on, and they didn't
he's
teach him
like, you
that
don't know
in
what you're
medical
talking about.
school.
You can kill my patient. I'm like, okay. Now
Yeah.
they looking like that little girl knew what she was talking about, because I felt like that with my dad, but I didn't want to give him no more drugs. I just wanted him to live,
Could it,
be happy.
we all have parasites. Could that have been a parasite that was affected by the stuff that they were
No,
putting
I
in the
don't.
body?
I felt like that was some type of DNA or RNA strand. And the reason why is because I had done science project after science project with my nieces and nephews. And all we did for their science project, they all repeated the same science project. One time I showed one of them how to do it. They were like, "Oh, Auntie Stacy, we want to do the science project so we can win." And what we did was we extracted DNA from strawberries.
Wow.
And every time
How did
the
you do? Well,
DNA
go ahead.
strand, I'm not going to walk you through that whole process.
All right. Yeah, that'd be
DNA
fascinating.
strand comes out slimy,
Okay.
right? Slimy and white. But you sit it on paper towel and you let it sit there for a second. You let it sit there for like a day. It just crumbles up. It just dries up. Just like that thing that came out of my dad. Now, what came out of my dad, it wasn't clear because he was coughing up old blood.
Wow. Rest his
Right?
soul.
So that old blood was on him.
Yeah.
And it was on that, but it was a long strand. I'm like, I know what DNA looks like. I'm a plant genetics scientist. When
But
I
the
saw
nurse
that, I'm
didn't
like,
know what it
that's
looks
DNA.
like.
Yeah, all she said was that we've had that long strand of something come out of our patients, and typically these are the patients that had the COVID booster shot. I was
Talk
like,
about
get up.
talking about deleting a
And
video,
my
huh?
dad and his
They were far
the
enough in.
cancer didn't really happen with him. Tori, you remember this? We found out my dad had cancer and all gone. And where the cancer was he had like hepatitis, and because he was like in the armed services or something and had veterans, whatever, they let him take a special drug that cleared the hepatitis, but it left a spot on his liver. And that spot had been there since 1997. They checked it every year up until COVID. And because of COVID, you couldn't go and get your checkups like you normally did. So COVID came, he took the shot, and then he took the booster, then he went back in for a checkup, and now he has cancer in this spot that hadn't done anything since 1997.
So you think COVID exacerbated it or the booster shots?
The shots. He never even had COVID.
Wow. Well, when you
You hear about
wow.
all of that? What was it? DMX had a heart attack after he had a COVID shot. You remember
Yeah,
that
allegedly
coming
he
up?
had a lot of cocaine.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Oh well, that would be a
allegedly.
different story.
That was
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly though. 'Cause
Right,
allegedly.
allegedly.
But
But no,
right,
even
but
according to him,
I
but
know
I
what
don't
I
know if he was
saw with my
doing it at the
dad.
time.
I know that was a DNA or RNA strand. I know what it looks like.
As a former Monsanto scientist, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we get to the fun
No,
stuff? All right, because we've said enough. Food, faith, and science with food scientist / minister Stacy Blackburn. All right. I did. Let's see. Well, let's run through this. It wouldn't be right not to do it. How has your personal life experience guided the way you minister to others?
Ooh, that's a really loaded question. Everything, I'll say this, everything that has happened in my life has happened on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and it is something that I can use as a tool in ministry to help teach others and teach those that are coming up behind us, for sure.
Funny how that
And the
works, though.
goal is to tell the truth, right? The things that happen in our lives, we shouldn't sugarcoat it and take it to our graves. We need to tell our story and 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 minister that to people, our younger generation, so that they don't have to fall in the same traps that we have fallen into.
100,000,000%. I can't say that any better. You're right. It's the whole point. We're like fractals. We're all going through it. And so they're going to go through their stuff, but they should be able to tell it to the people coming behind them so that the other fractals don't, they're going to experience different stuff. All
You
right.
think all the malarkey that our parents got into that they didn't say nothing to us
I know, right?
and we find out in our older years, like, had you shared that with me, then maybe I wouldn't have gone through
Yeah.
that. Hello. Right. But it's like, what stays in this house, what goes on in this house stays in this house.
We do stuff to protect the ones behind us, but by hiding and shielding everything, you're not necessarily protecting them. You're
No.
exposing them.
Yes.
In what ways has your upbringing? No, we'll skip that one. How do moments of struggle or triumph in your own life help you relate to the spiritual and health needs of our community?
Okay. So there was a statement that I learned here when I first started school, is that there are people that are entrusted to our care. Right. And when I think of those entrusted to my care, you know, the struggles that I've gone through, all of this serves as tools to help heal our future and even our present. I hope I'm answering. I hope I'm saying that the
You
right
are.
way. But when I think about you and Tori, you guys are entrusted to my care, right? I'm entrusted to you all's care. My nephews and nieces, they're entrusted to my care, and I would be doing them a disservice if I didn't learn from my struggles, my chastening in the spirit to help teach them, I don't want to say how to avoid, but to cope and overcome and
Understand.
understand and have, because life will life. We can tell people things until we're blue in the face, and it may not be for them to avoid, it may be for them to experience, but have a easier, I don't say easier, but a more holistic and healthier healing journey. Maybe it doesn't have to hurt as much.
But how about the triumphs? Because, I mean, you've done some things that, coming out of Chicago and, becoming a scientist, getting that degree from U of I, which is known for agricultural science, going off working for big corporations and stuff like that. Do you parlay your triumphs as you're ministering and counseling people as well? Not as a bragging way, but as your achievements.
Well, I'm still trying to balance that because I've just come off of a season of my life where I felt like, well, I feel like I was sharing my triumphs to encourage people.
Mm-hmm.
But what I got in return was you bragging and you think you all that, and so I'm trying to
Yeah, I got you.
balance that. God is still working with me in that area because when you go through things like that, you tend to want to shrink, and I'm starting to teach myself to not shrink.
Yeah, there's going to be some who can receive that and some who can't, and that's where your discernment is going to come in.
Yeah. Honestly, I believe that we're that generation. We went to U of I, we got degrees or whatever, and had a hard time saying that back to our homies that didn't go because we were criticized for doing that, and your education don't mean nothing, and all of that stuff. You just got debt. And it's like, okay, I just got debt, but my life is kind of pivoting upwards. And that debt, even though it was actually, somebody said that to me the other day, like, you shouldn't pursue your education anymore. You can learn things on your own because you're getting, I'm like, I don't have no debt. I got scholarships, boo.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I got scholarships, and everything that I'm learning about psychology and neurogenetics as well as spirituality, right? I know I'm going for my master's of divinity at a Christian college, but I just had a debate with one of my professors about, like, so when you add African spirituality or indigenous spirituality or Asian spirituality, is it still Christian? Or are you trying to say, oh, it's African Christianity? Every other week, I'm like, just please don't kick me out of school. Like, I just want to finish. But that's what right, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, spiritually, things are more important. Right. And so if I can share my spiritual walk, the triumphs and the sufferings with others, and it actually helps them, that would be great. But it's a fine line, because when you've been in a place where you've been criticized for achieving, you tend to shrink, and I'm trying to unlearn that pattern, but it's been a pattern that started. I'll just say like this: when you're a unicorn, people can't take that light, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand that I'm a unicorn. Typically people are not gonna like what I achieve. They're gonna criticize it, but then they're gonna. But 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 what I do know is that's usually the minority, and I am teaching myself to not focus on that minority that criticizes, but the majority that's like,
Yeah,
hey,
don't
thank you for sharing your story.
yeah, don't
You
get
know?
anchored there. And remember, ask and it shall be answered. Seeking you shall
Yeah,
find, and knocking the door shall be open. So
that's right.
when you're sharing that, share it with those who are asking you, right? Share it with those who are
Absolutely.
knocking, who come to you, who are seeking, and then it'll be a lot easier to you won't be getting that response, right? If even if they're just like I might say, yeah, I'm going through it and blah 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 blah. If I'm not literally asking, then it could come off a certain way. I learned that from my mom. It could come off a certain
Yeah,
way when you're always trying to, help or guide them in the right direction. Make sure they literally ask you, and that's the same way Christ, whatever you want to call him, Yeshua, Yahshua. There's a lot of names people want to call him. That's the same way he rolled. They came to him,
yeah,
and asked him. Otherwise, they were going to give him the same treatment. Yeah, who
yeah.
you think you are, nigga? You know what I mean? You think you better than me?
You
I've,
think
I've
you are? I
also,
mean, that's the same treatment that they gave him.
I also,
Ultimately, and those
I've,
people were black. Go ahead, so.
I've also figured out that the older I get, the less that I care what someone thinks of me,
Oh
and
yeah,
their opinion matters not. And I'm going to do what Spirit says to do
100%.
That's right.
when it's time to do it. So and chips gonna fall where they may. You know,
100%.
You know what? People will have something to say either way. It doesn't matter. And I said this to somebody the other day. I'm like, what you could possibly have to say about me, I've already said about myself. So
Yeah, you can't be a
all
harder
good.
critic on me than I am of myself.
Right. Exactly. And I've overcome it. So whatever you do is on you.
Sweet potato patch 2.0.
I don't know. But
She had to put the self-love vision on for that one. Anything else you want to discuss before we get to the yes no esoteric questions so we can get you out of here?
no.
All right. All right. So all right, this is the self-love time machine. Imagine Brother Wordsmith, right? Imagine Brother Wordsmith has a time machine. And then he wished you back, and it's going to be your 9th birthday. You're sitting around your big mama. You're at the dining room table. The pantry's over there where the slaves used to be, but y'all wasn't slaves. It was, it used to be the help because your neighborhood used to be all white too at a certain point. The point I'm making is this, because you was on the south side. You're sitting over there. It's your 9th birthday. Your family's got 9 candles on there, and they're like, Stacy, make a wish and blow out the candles. You make a wish to see your adult self as you are now, to meet your adult self as you are today. So you make that wish, you blow out the candles, your whole family is suspended, they can't move, it's suspended animation, and boom, you're literally taken from here to there. Me and Tori don't even know you're there. What advice are you giving to 9-year-old Stacy?
Don't shrink.
Okay. All right. Okay, we got the $1 billion question for you. $1 billion question. Suppose a multi-billionaire, it could be Elon Musk, it could be anybody. Somebody we don't know. Because I don't want you to say, I don't want the money because they dirty people. So just say, suppose a billionaire, it could be a happy billionaire. But a person approaches you and they say, Stacy, you can have $1 billion at midnight tonight. You'll get an alert on your phone. It says, bing. Your savings account now has $1 billion plus whatever you have in it already.
Y'all gonna really do that?
It's going to be tax-free. It's tax-free,
I'm
right?
like,
All right. It's going to be tax-free. But when you wake up in the morning, you're going to discover that you and only you are 10 physical years older. So you're not skipping to 2035. Tri Phoenix said definitely not Elon. See, yeah, I know, because can't bring Elon in the premise. People be like, I don't want shit from Elon. So here's the thing: you wake up tomorrow,
no Tesla,
and you're gonna be 10 years older. Tori's not older. Nobody else is older but you, and you're not skipping 10 years. You're waking up tomorrow with $1 billion tax-free dollars in your account. Do you take the deal?
do I take what?
You get $1 billion tax-free dollars, but you're
Do
gonna
I
be
take the billion?
yeah, but you're gonna be 10 years older tomorrow.
Okay. So it's do I take the billion or not be 10 years older?
No, if you take the $1 billion, you're gonna be 10 years older tomorrow.
Okay. So I don't understand. Do I
So
take it?
Yes. Do you take the $1 billion and be 10 years older
because the
tomorrow?
billionaire is going to be 10
Or
years
not
younger
take the
tomorrow.
billion and
Right.
stay the same?
And stay
You
the
can
same.
turn the money away and stay like you are tomorrow. Stay like you are.
No, I'll take it.
I think it's a U of I thing because Tori will take it and I'll take it too. Actually, 65% of the people who I asked that question to take the money, maybe around 70%. It varies.
Right,
Why you
because
say you'll
if
take
I'm
it though?
Because if I'm gonna be 10 years older, I'm gonna use that $1 billion and see the world.
There you go. Yeah.
There's a big world out here that I have not seen and spent time on, and my goal is to see the world.
I would buy all the stock I can in Monsanto. I'm just joking. Tri Phoenix said, heck yeah. I guess Phoenix would take the $1 billion too. Yeah, you could travel, becomes quality. You're retired. You could take care, your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Man.
yeah,
Yes.
10 years
yeah.
from now, if I'm 10 years old, I ain't starting no other business. I'm not doing all of
Right.
You can
it. I
have
have
somebody running your business, though. That's what I'm
to,
saying. You're
no,
gonna have a personal assistant, a nutritionist, all that. You can get some
I
fancy
would,
kid
I,
out of Howard to be the
And
CEO of
AI.
your company, and
listen, I would give a large percentage of that money to HBCUs and travel the world.
okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
Black kids can have free education at a black school.
65 and not worry about SSI, that would be non-existent. Exactly. Essentially, you'd be retired with $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Essentially,
Why
that's what that
not?
means. All right.
No.
Okay. Recommend a book to the Self Love Nation.
Oh, okay. So I just read this. This was a book.
Hold on. Let's get our cameras off, Self.
Oh, I'm blurred. I don't know how to do my.
Unblur. Well, do it again. Do it now. Let me see.
It's called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone
Yeah. Why is that blurred?
because I'm blurred.
Well, you got your background blurred. Put it right in front of your face. See what happens. That's weird. There it is.
It's called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. Let me
Okay.
see if I can do my
Maybe we
background.
shouldn't put it on there too. So that's probably good that it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything happens
but
for a
it's
reason.
called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone
Okay.
by Lori Gottlieb. This was a good book.
Maybe
This
you
was
should talk to someone like a therapist.
it's that was a good book. I just finished it off of a book club that I was in. Another good one I'll always say is The Four Agreements.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
good
yeah. I got that. Yeah, nearby. I need to
Mhm.
reread it.
Yeah,
Seven
that's
Spiritual
one.
Laws of Success is a good one too. Have you read that one?
What is it called?
The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success.
I have not read that.
Yeah, it's about as long as the Four Agreements. You don't have to, expend a lot of time into it. I'm reading Drew Wade's book. Yeah, it's a sci-fi. He's gonna come on the
Okay.
show and we're gonna talk about it. All right. Recommend a black owned or copper owned restaurant. Could be anywhere in the world, LA, Chicago, whatever.
Flipping Flavors in Chicago,
You've been there, Self?
owned by
Shut.
Brian and Linda Flippin. Good
Shocked.
people.
I think
South
I've
side?
heard of it.
West
South
side?
side. South side.
Where is it at?
Good people.
Shocked,
It's over
Tori.
by Western, I think.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Have not been there. Okay.
Flipping
Shocked.
Flavors.
How long they been in business about?
For about 5-6 years.
Was it burgers, hot dogs, pizza, soul food?
Actually, they sell hoagies,
Oh,
sandwiches,
Yeah,
salads, healthy salads, sandwiches,
I saw it on
vegan sandwiches.
TikTok this yesterday or the day before.
What?
Yeah, Flipping Flavors.
Yeah.
Brian Flippin and Linda Flippin.
That's
They are
literally
my
their
brothers
last
and
name?
sisters. Yeah, Flippin. Brothers and sisters from Apostolic Church of God, Chicago.
Okay.
Their sandwiches are the bomb.com.
So they're
Almost better than, actually, they're healthier than like Taurus's.
they're Pentecostal. Is the Taurus ever open back up, Self?
Sort of, kind of. It's one on Western
They
somewhere.
got the little mobile thing and they selling stuff out of buckets now.
Don't get me started.
Man.
That piss people off. I'm gonna be PC here. All right.
Right.
Yeah, because I was disappointed that the car crash ended
I
the
know.
business.
They just like destroyed that.
I know. This is a long thing, though. It's a long thing.
Yeah.
The health department came in there was like, wait a minute, what?
How long y'all plan on doing this? All right.
Wait a minute, y'all been working out like this. How the hell did this happen? We didn't know.
All right. Would you ride in a Waymo or a driverless vehicle?
I did ride in a Waymo.
Okay, so that's a yes. She's
I
the
rode in one.
first. She's the first, I think, that
I
we've
got a
had.
video. I'll send it to y'all so y'all can like play it one
But
day.
she's a scientist, so it follows. They always want to,
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I wanted to kill myself the whole time, but
Yeah.
it was weird.
All right. Yes or no? Is there a God or a creator?
Yes.
Yes or no? Have you ever seen anything paranormal, supernatural, UFO, aliens? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wow. Have you ever seen? Okay, well, that was supernatural. My bad. Have you ever seen a UFO? Yes or no?
I don't know. How are
Maybe.
you supposed to know if it's a UFO or not?
What?
I
It's
think so.
unidentified. It's something you see. Normally, you see a plane. You're like, that's an airplane.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
a helicopter. That's a drone. Have you ever seen
Okay.
something up there that you
That
couldn't
was
identify?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Have you
You see
ever
a lot of stuff
seen
out west.
what's that?
You see a lot of stuff out west.
Sure do.
No
Tori,
holds barred out here.
I be telling Tori all the time, strange looking skies at night. I'd be like, what's going on with the skies? Like a different color.
Tori, did I send you a picture of that car?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, that was a UFO.
Okay. Have you ever seen an alien?
You think I dated one?
Did mankind ever walk on the moon at any point in human history, specifically during the Apollo program?
I guess.
Is,
That's what
is
they
that a yes
said.
or a no?
Yes.
Is that a PC answer? Is that the how you feel?
I've never given that any thought.
All right,
Literally.
I'm gonna send you a video you should watch. All right, here's the magic box question.
Okay.
Tri Phoenix said there's a lot of aliens walking around too. Maybe some
Woo.
hybrids,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Aliens,
Um,
demons.
magic box question. Imagine Brother Wordsmith there had a magic box with a singular red button contained in it. So it's a cream box, maybe acacia. And it's really nice. It's got a nice crimson button on the top. God forbid that a person who you would have the most difficulty living without contracted a rare and terminal illness that they suffered dearly from, and all the king's horses and all the king's doctors said death was imminent. The morphine wasn't working. No painkillers no longer working. This person is screaming, Stacy, I can't take it. Every time you see him. What if Brother Wordsmith there told you that if you just press that, remember that box I gave you, Stacy? If you just press that red button on that box, your loved one will be 100% cured, out of pain, but, it's always a big but, a person whom you do not know would then suffer the same fate as your loved one. Do you push that button? We don't want any PC answers here.
Yes.
All right.
I know that was crappy to say, but yeah.
Okay. All right. God for
That was crappy to say
you'd have to
because
be like, God forgive me and push it.
God forgive me, yeah, but this person is more important to me.
You'd probably be playing it Tupac. Only God can judge me. Only God. Only God can judge me.
Like I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Okay.
But
Go
I
ahead.
think that the only person that I would do that for ain't here no more. So
Dang, she can't switch with someone she dislikes. No. Somebody added the premise. What if that person was a kid and the kid was like behind one of those police mirrors where they can't see you and they're telling you push the button, but this kid right there is going to get it. That innocent
Ooh.
kid right there is going to get it. Do you push
If
the
it was
button?
an innocent kid now you just made me think differently.
Well, I mean, it could always be an innocent kid. You never
I
know.
agree with Aretha. Like, dang, I wish it was somebody that I ain't like. Like, sure.
She'd be playing
Bye.
Sosa. And I don't like. Okay. All right. And that being said, what is the meaning of life? There's no right or wrong answer.
What is the meaning of life? Loving each other.
Can you repeat that one more time? You kind of phased out.
Did? Loving each other.
You know, several people say that on their deathbed. My late grandmother actually said that too. One of her last words: "Love one another."
Love each other.
Yeah.
Keep loving each other.
Hmm.
It's sad that it's so hard to do.
Is that part of the experience?
What do you
Right?
mean?
The difficulty of it is, because then when you guys have left and
I
come
think
back,
it is.
then when you leave, you get an understanding of what it's all about.
Yeah, I think it is. It takes a lot of strength to love people, and and I feel like we all do the best we can. I think we're all doing I would hope that we're all doing the very best that we can with what life has given us.
Self, have you given that question some thought? I don't think I've asked you.
I was thinking about what she said. What's the question?
What's the meaning of life?
Oh, it is for me to expand the vibration, expand consciousness, to experience and expose the simulation to this vibration.
That was deep.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. I just sent you that moon landing, fake moon thing.
Fake moon.
It's a
Okay.
50-minute thing. You gotta watch his. He's a scientist.
Science.
Yeah. Scientists, they only listen to scientists a lot of times. All right, so we got a 60. What's that?
We make up stuff and y'all believe us.
Some people do. Me and Tori
Try
been on
Phoenix
y'all
like
ass for a
that.
long time. Around here with
Like
that
you make up
fancy
stuff in
white
a
coat
minute.
on. You think I'm gonna listen to you just because you know what I mean?
Science.
Right.
Shit.
All right.
We're both scientists, so I mean, in a certain degree, we smell bullshit a mile away.
Yeah. And it's all observation. It's all born out of observation. All right. We're gonna get this timer going because we're gonna play this 60-second game here. Karen.
Get it together.
Yeah, Karen. Okay. Karen's an intern, yo. All right, so
Okay.
here's the game. You got 60 seconds to play. You can pass 2 times, right? If you pass a third time, you lose the game. We've never had any losers. Stick to your heart and choose one. So this one's called the Self Love Arc. We're gonna give you a pair of items, and you just pick the one that you resonate with the most. For instance, I might say Cool 100s or Newports. You might say Newports. You might say pass. You right? But it's like a verbal ink blocks test. You following me?
Okay.
All right. All right. Any questions before we start the clock?
No.
All right, here we go. Harold's Fried Chicken or Uncle Remus Fried Chicken?
Uncle Remus.
Italian Fiesta or Giordano's?
Giordano's.
George Washington Carver, Dr.
George
Kismikia
Washington
Corbett.
Carver.
Chicago, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X?
Malcolm X.
Hip hop or house music?
Hip hop.
Anarchy or tyranny?
Pass.
All right. Oath breaking member of law enforcement. The young one's called 12. So you got an oath breaking cop who might put their knee on your neck for 9 minutes. Or a carjacking Pookie and Ray Ray who might have stalked you leaving the bank and put a tracker in your car and jumped out on you and took your bag of money.
Carjacker.
Which one? Pookie and Ray Ray?
Yes.
All right. All right. B.I.G. or Tupac?
Tupac.
Okay. Michael Jeffrey Jordan or Beyonce?
Pass.
You've used up all your passes. You have no more passes.
Okay.
Soul food or Chinese food?
Soul food.
These are the bonus questions. Build a wall or complete open borders?
Open borders.
Live forever or die tomorrow?
Live forever.
Prince, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
All right, that's it. You passed by the skin of your chinny chin chin. So you refuse to answer anarchy or tyranny. Shrewd pass, shrewd pass. And what was the other one? Was it MJ, Michael Jordan, or Beyonce? You couldn't pick between them?
I don't care. I'm not a sports fan, and I'm really not into the Beyonce thing.
You're right. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Uncle Remus, and then she picked L.A. over Chicago.
Uncle Remus. My friend owns Uncle Remus. Charity. I don't even know who owns Harold's Chicken now. Probably some Pakistani family.
Yeah, most of them are bootleg.
Right. The one out here sucks.
Well, there's one, and you got to try the one in Culver City. At
This one in Culver City.
yeah, it's at that mall, the Westfield Mall. It's right next to Five Guys. Try that one. They from around your way too. They from the hundreds. Go in there, tell them you from Shot. Tell them you want to wait. You know what I mean?
Chris Rayburn.
Yeah.
I thought it was only one. This old whack one in Hollywood.
That one's horrible. They used to have the mild sauce on the table and those little ketchup bottles. I'm like, oh hell no.
Right.
If you had mild sauce on the ketchup table in Chicago, you wouldn't have no mild sauce. That's
that should be gone. Have somebody have it at home.
If it was worth any damn thing, it'd be gone.
But this is LA. I mean, you could get away with doing that here, and then the mild sauce stay on the table.
And then it's stale and it's no good. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about Harold's is they don't even really sell no recipes or anything. It's they sell the packaging and
So they don't give you the secret sauce.
No.
It's a Harold's, and you got me looking now. It's one in Culver City.
Yeah.
I can't eat that. I just had a lupus flare up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got time, maybe in a month or so.
It clears up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the Westfield Culver City Mall.
I see it on Sepulveda, Culver City.
Sepulveda.
Whatever.
Sepulveda. Yeah, I used to call it that
Oh
too.
yeah, okay. Westfield, Culver City.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got any big ups or any plugs?
Big ups to my fam that was watching. My little nephew Josh was watching. Aretha, Paul. I don't know. My mom, go take a look at her for me, please. She's minus my dad. So if you could look out for her, that would be great.
For sure, I'll give her a call.
Yeah, pull up on
She
it.
be giving me here's the reason. She be giving me the flux. I will Amazon Ring Central camera that you can install too. She gives me the flux. I had her on tracker on my phone and she like blocked that.
Yeah, we had at the Friendsgiving we went to, one of the guys, I think his mom is in Chicago or yeah. And they put one of those cameras on there and he's monitoring it and stuff from his phone, you know. That
My
helps.
sister was like, what if she walks around naked? I'm like, ugh, why would you bring that up as like the first thing?
No, I mean you could at least
We
monitor the outside, you know what I mean?
right. I'm just checking to see if her car is outside. I'm not trying to spy on her like that,
Correct. Make sure
you
ain't nobody
know.
coming in the house, all that, you know.
Right.
If it's too much snow outside, that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay,
All right.
guys.
So before you bounce, do you bless your food prior to consuming?
Not all the time.
Most of the time or sometimes?
Oh, excuse me. Oh God. That's the lupus. I'm sorry. Ugh. Sometimes I
Okay.
have faith that my food is blessed when it's set in front of me.
That's fair. All right. Thank you so much for doing this. Welcome back to the Give Back Gang. Brother Wordsmith, you got some words?
Thank you so much. Much appreciation. Get better and better and better.
Actually, I've gotten a lot better out here, but I just overdid it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I did the most. I need to start showing up at people's houses with one dish. Not a whole turkey, mac and cheese, greens, and yeah. That thing, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore.
Good.
Plus, my nieces want to take it over in Chicago. So I'm like, as you wish.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, get yourself some rest and
Thank you.
heal yourself,
Thank you
as they
guys for
say.
having me. I appreciate it. Nice conversation.
Epic.
Epic. I hope they don't erase this one.
No, they won't. We waited long
People.
enough.
Listen, I heard my dad in the spirit before he died. I remember walking out my building and I was going to the facility in Lansing. I was walking out my building and I heard his voice. He said, "They watching you. Be aware." And my journey ever since he died has been awareness, being
What year
aware.
was that?
2023.
They are watching you. Yeah.
I've been ultra aware of my surroundings.
How long have you known you had lupus?
Since late 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So right about the time that he found out he had cancer, I found out I have. And the weird thing is the effects. I think it's been around a lot longer, but
All the other doctors missed it.
yeah, because it wasn't as severe, but when you're in a abusive situation and you're being traumatized and like always anxious and stressed,
The stress.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it really started showing its ugly face.
I wouldn't put nothing past Monsanto. Would you, Self?
No, it's
Not
probably
at
because of
all.
the roundup. I'm gonna sue them now.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put nothing past them.
Yeah.
Big ups to Monsanto. We don't. I mean, ups to Monsanto.
Like
We
they
don't have
caused
any
me to
problem.
have lupus. You never know. But anywho, all right, guys, you have a good night and thank you for having me.
Yeah. Peace and love.
Thank you for doing it again. Love, honor, respect.
All righty. I'm
Get some
gonna.
rest.
All right, bye, guys.
Magnanimous, bro. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not too surprised.
No.
So, what about you, bro? Do you bless your food prior to consuming? Yes, all the
Sometimes.
time, most of the time, sometimes never.
Sometimes.
So, I didn't want to ask you that because she had to leave. What is it? You get some food from a restaurant that's got a B or a C rating. You're gonna bless that food as opposed to a place with an A rating. Is it who's cooking it? Is it how fresh you think the food is? What makes you decide to bless it this time but not that time? I'm just asking.
Generally, like, there's an assumption that this food is for me and it's blessed and put in place for me. The usually when I'm in a company of people that are blessing the food.
Got you. So that's the sometimes.
Yes.
Well, I went with all the time, and I'm a minority. So 20% said all of the time, 20% said most of the time, 40% said sometime, and you got a never out there. 20% said never. I thought everybody did that in the Black community.
No. It's not been a Black community for a long time.
I just dropped that link in the chat. If anybody else wants to vote, do you bless your food?
And you come from that religious
yeah
background and point of view that how they and I do to a large degree, but my mom kind of intervened in that. So
yeah it makes sense. All right, so
although she every time I see her eat, but she's 85, so
she blesses her food.
Yeah.
All right, food, faith, and science, and big ups to Mama Wordsmith. Big ups to Stacy Blackburn. The views expressed in today's pod are those of the hosts, the guests, and are not necessarily reflective of TATN, any sponsors, or any affiliates. Food is much more than what we eat. It's how we live, how we heal, and how we remember. In Copper America, it remains a thread that ties together science, spirituality, and survival, reminding us that nourishment is both physical and cultural. Through the insights of food scientist and minister Stacy Blackburn, we've seen how the laboratory and the pulpit can speak the same language. Her perspective shows us that food is not only a matter of health, but also a matter of spirit, family, and community, a place where science and faith meet at the table. As we close, let us carry forward the idea that food is a pathway to empowerment, to healing, and to deeper understanding of ourselves and one another. May we continue to honor the stories and traditions that shape our plates and recognize the power they hold for the future. Stay curious, stay informed, stay aware, stay engaged. Most importantly, stay true to self. Also, love yourself and everyone around you deeply. All right. Remember, ask not what our culture can do for you, but what you can do for our culture. Silence is violence, and continue to question everything. The Self Love Show ain't Kansas, Toto. Peer down those rabbit holes and do your own research, but use caution and discernment, because sometimes when you stare into the abyss, well, the abyss stares right back at you. Peace, self-love, honor, and respect. All right, we got a riddle. Brother Wordsmith has solved it. I'll go over it really quick. I am grown from earth, yet shaped by hand. A healer, a burden, a cultural brand. I feed the body, I stir the soul. In science, I'm measured. In spirit, I'm whole. You came up with that, huh, fella? What am I?
Food.
What gave it away?
I had to see it. I
Yeah.
heard you saying it, and I was a little distracted at the beginning, so I couldn't visualize it. And then I was trying to go get the mouse across the room that I accidentally left.
Yeah.
And then it was time to go into the show. I was like, oh yeah. So yeah.
So something about the mouse triggered the answer?
No, once I actually saw it.
Got you. You were able to settle down, click on it.
Yeah,
and
look, and I was like, oh, okay. All right, because I heard it, but not all the way where I was focused, where, I see stuff, feel it.
All right. So next week, we got something lined up next week, 12/9?
That's
so.
that's the ugly sweater party at Lavu's, Club Lavu's.
Okay, yeah.
I'm maybe make an appearance at the very end or something.
You're going to be over there, huh?
I got to,
Well, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. And then, I'll reach out to Myron.
Yeah.
See if he can pull up. But I'll do that, try to do that for the 16th or something.
Okay.
And then Sunday, y'all, Polytricks. That's where we discuss sports and Polytricks. It's an open panel. Anybody is welcome to pull up. But if you do pull up,
do not forget your mouthpiece.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can get left all wet.
100%. Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. We don't debate on this show, but that show will let you have it.
And they let each other have it. It's comical.
All right. Let's see here. Words. This brings me to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang, and that's going to be Wordsmith's final words out there, 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 out there.
You made it this week. It's unbelievable. You're still awake. We had an excellent show to help consciousness grow. Frequency that equally move the presence of information through your DNA, transform the resonance. And it's been perfected in our flavor, the way we put everything together, ingredients and spices and all kinds of things that brings it all together. The gumbo you've seen, you've heard, it's superb. So the scientists sciencing the realization of the growth, the misunderstanding of the whack people who disobey their oath. All come together. So, as you've all seen and witnessing, we got the devil's grimacing, for pretending that they are on our level. And we're here to benefit not the masses, just those that are us, first and foremost, and expose everybody else to the greatness that they get to witness. It's an amazing situation. The new world entered the whole situation, all guns blazing. Been through everything, so nothing is phasing. And we're here to grow some more and explore things that we've never witnessed before. And ignore all you hating ass people. And smile as we laugh. Cause for sure, today we going past. So I hope y'all love how we put these shows together. It's for y'all that we go through whatever we have to grasp you, shake you up, wake you up. Words.
Words. Free the guys, free all the guys.
Love, honor, respect.
Do you think you are the one?
Honestly, I don't know.
You know what that means? It's Latin. Means know thyself.
Girl,
The time is now, my people. We must man know thyself.
I will eat the right foods that I
go myself.
The wrong way stole my health. I'm glad to be me now and nobody else.
Man, know thyself.
I will eat the right foods that I
grow myself.
Cause the wrong way stole
my health.
I'm glad to be me now and nobody else. Yo,
Bullets.
in the code and all the scriptures, potions and elixirs.
Come on, Karen. Bullets, a boomerang.
Stand your ground.
Murder is suicide.
Yeah, well, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
You want to be a slave? Vibrate greed. Ego. Fear. That's how they make you a slave. You end up in prison.
Okay. I know for sure, charity plus humility times love is freedom.
That's how you get out. Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
We've got two who can see. Fear is cap. It's an illusion.
Yeah. Vibrate love.
See if you can hear it. You never die when you breathe in the Holy Spirit. Swine ain't divine, the people they won't go near it. Salad bar, spit a natural avatar here to bring you back to God. Said it just like Master Far sent you. The end ain't always happy.
And forgiveness is love's supreme vibration.
So, do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
Healthy people, heal thy people. That's a commandment.
Yeah, those hurt people, for sure, gonna try to hurt people.
Free Larry Hoover, man, like Big Meech.
Free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison to slavery.
Check that 13th Amendment if you don't believe him. And be Yah. Walk on water.
Man. Move mountains.
Oh, Mountain Dew.
Yes, sir. Week by week, that mountain is getting weak. It's moving. Look at it.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, you just know it. Through and through. Balls to bone.
Still got them, bro.
Got mine.
Same, man. Stop snitching on y'allself. Take school seriously.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.